Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Get some music going here in the background. It just occurred to me that I really hadn't streamed on Subpar Gaming in quite a while. So I'm going to go ahead and do some streaming, but we're also going to be reviewing some videos that I haven't really seen, and I would like to kind of get a better understanding of. So I'm going to be reviewing. What happened to my music? There it is. I'm going to be reviewing kind of a letter to me video from one, what we call him, the Honey Badger on my side of the camp, but he's known as Shadow Finkel or David Finkel or Finkel. So I'm going to be reviewing it. He's got a bit of a message to me, and I'm just listening to it. And I'm going to try to be careful about commenting on anything that I'm not allowed to comment on. Oh, well, I guess without too much further ado, I guess we'll just get into it. Pardon me. All right.
So, what is a threat?
Oh, and this gentleman has suffered with Bell palsy. Recently, he's about a week into the diagnosis, and he's getting a little bit better every day. So let's understand that it might be a little hard to understand what he's saying on occasion.
In the legal sense. Threat in the legal sense actually can vary from state to state. So, I guess we should address specifically what is a threat in the state of Kentucky. Criminal threats in Kentucky. Kentucky law doesn't use exact phrase terroristic threat.
Hey, Boot.
In all context.
Hey, I just want to say I'm sorry, guys. Apparently, my body is going through a little bit more than I thought it was, and I was just zonked out. Kind of didn't even want to wake up this morning. Just wanted to sleep a little bit longer. But I'm gonna do this live stream here. I've got plans with lunch plans coming up soon. And with a viewer that is going to be in the area and wanted to meet. So, and I've got a few other things that I need to kind of focus on. Right now on a little bit of a holding pattern. I have a little bit of extra time, so I figured I'll distract myself a little bit here, but I'll also review. This is David Finkel. His all good. Yeah, I actually started watching. I started watching your show from last night because I fell asleep, and then I think when I left that message is when I woke up. I was still like in Killa's StreamYard, and I was like, "Oh crap!" You know, how long have I been kind of asleep? You know, and anyway, so I started watching yours this morning, and man, there's nothing I like more than to even put that on my channel or review it. But I've got to be very careful. I'm not. I've never had anyone have any kind of a protective order against me ever in my life. Usually, I'm the guy who runs towards the sound of gunfire or danger in order to protect other people. That's just kind of how I've always been built. So the fact that I'm having to kind of deal with this is like uncharted territories for me. So I'm really not used to all the ins and outs of it, and haven't really been in the legal system. You know, so again, this is all real new to me, and I'm glad it's new to me because I'm glad I don't have a lot of familiarity with going in front of. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a judge, I'm not a magistrate, I'm not a paralegal, I'm none of these things that would entail that I would need to be around the court systems. So, I mean, it's not like shameful that I don't know or understand the ins and outs of these things. But, hey, how you doing, Jessica? Appreciate all the all the pouring out last night. Like I said, I listened to shortly, probably about 15 minutes into Midwest Accountability getting on and kind of telling his side of it, and his truck troubles, and you're trying to get his channel out there. Big shout out to Midwest for you know he could have easily just ducked all this completely and not want to get involved at all. So, but kind of a big shout out to him for being willing, to at least say something. That said, I'm just sitting here trying to think of, it's a very frustrating thing when your job online, when your business is based around reviewing and commentary and reporting or observing and reporting things. And when a story has been something that's not only affected your life, but so many other people's lives in your orbit, and then suddenly you're not allowed to talk about that story, it's a little weird. A little strange. So I'm still trying to navigate a lot of that. So, still trying to navigate it. But I appreciate everything. How you doing, JP? I don't expect a whole lot of people. This is a pretty early stream for me. Normally I'm up around this time, but usually most people on the West Coast aren't. Hey, Giggles, good to see you. So I'm just listening to what Finkel has some. Listen, man, you say whatever you want about Finkel, but I think he really does try to do the research. It looks like he put together some KRSs, which is I think Kentucky State Resolutions, or I think that's what it stands for. I don't even know, but we're gonna listen to this a little bit. I'm gonna start it over again, and heck, maybe I'll even learn something. Well, good morning, everyone.
So, what is a threat in the legal sense? Threat in the legal sense actually can vary from state to state. So, I guess we should address specifically what is a threat in the state of Kentucky. Criminal threats in Kentucky. Kentucky law doesn't use exact phrase terroristic.
Just for the record, I in no way, shape, or form asked anyone in this scenario right here or this video to say any of this. This was on their own behalf. I don't even know if it addresses a particular person I'm not allowed to address. Hey, Shadow Finkel. Yep. Yeah, and I let everyone know that, whoever might see this in the future, that you're actually sounding great compared to how you were like a week ago. So I just wanted to kind of review this and to look at it and listen to it and maybe see if I could learn something. But I, in no way, shape, or form, asked David Finkel, or we call him Honey Badger over here. I didn't ask Badger to do any of this, but I'm very interested in learning what he's researched. Like I said, I'm not in the habit of going to court like every other month or anything like that. So a lot of this is new to me. I'm not really sure what all the rules are, other than, maybe I shouldn't even be online until after the 22nd, but I've already lost my Second Amendment. I don't really think I should be having my First Amendment ripped out of me too. But Muckster made me do it. Made you do this? Oh, okay. Well, good. It was some good research. I did watch about 10 minutes of it, but I thought, you know what? I should review it, and, maybe other people can learn from it as well. Because I got a feeling there's going to be more people dealing with this kind of scenario coming up in the future with certain types. Yep, same here. I know nothing about protection orders. The Muck reference was a joke. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, either way. I mean, he's your friend for a reason, so you find value in the man. So, I mean, I don't throw out babies and bathwaters, combined. So I always try to be respectful to people. I leave room for hope with Muckster, because he was going pretty hard at Jeff, but he really does like Jeff now for some reason. I don't really quite understand that, but okay.
Threat in all context, because it has statutes that criminalize threatening communications. First degree, KRS 508.075. Intentionally making a threat to commit any act likely to result in the death or serious physical injury, or to substantially damage a school, place of assembly, or government facility. I'm not aware of anything communicated across YouTube from the U.S. state of Kentucky that would match that. Okay, second degree, KRS 508.078. Threatening to commit such acts with intent to cause evacuation or disruption of public places. Example, schools, workplaces. This is a Class D felony. I am not aware of any.
How dare you? Moving away from the keyboard. That guy's hard to listen to. Almost as hard as seeing him. Get out of here, bro. You're doing great, man. No, you really are. Seriously. You might be one of the bravest people I know, man.
Any threats communicated across YouTube from the state of Kentucky that would fit KRS 508.078. Okay. Third degree, KRS 508.080. Threats made with intent, that's a keyword, with intent, to cause another person to fear physical injury to themselves, family, or property.
Now, there may be aspects of this, because I haven't seen the whole thing. There may be aspects of this that I really, really want to comment on, but it would likely be prudent that I don't. So I might nod vigorously. That might be a less than tacit acknowledgement that I agree or that I approve. But
with intent.
Well, more than tacit, meaning vigorously agree.
With intent is pretty key.
Morning.
A rollback
system broken trust
would essentially have to be able to get in there to hook up a truck. So, and that's not that's the property. But I'm not aware of any physical injury threats to themselves, family, or property. Property. Okay. Rollback. I guess other than places like Walmart pretending to lower prices, showing a fake old price, put a smiley face and call it a rollback. Okay, a little humor there. Okay, menacing. This is a Class B misdemeanor. I can't talk yet. Misdemeanor. KRS 508.050. Intentionally placing another person in reasonable apprehension of imminent physical injury. Reasonable apprehension. Now, I hate laws that say reasonable, because who gets to decide the definition of reasonable? We'll get back to reasonable here in a minute. Legal criteria in Kentucky: to be prosecuted successfully, the communication must, 1, convey a serious expression of intent to harm, not just trash talk or vague anger. I've seen trash talk and vague anger all over YouTube. Be made with intent to cause fear, evacuation, disruption, or other unlawful effects. Do you know anybody in Indiana who, because of the transmission from Kentucky, evacuated their home or office or workplace? I've heard of this possibly happening, but not coming from Kentucky. Oklahoma. Cause a reasonable person in the context to feel threatened. Reasonable. Here's that word reasonable again. What is reasonable? Contextual considerations include school threats, not an issue.
And I think the interesting thing too is the level of like legalese that one has to navigate. It's I think it's so important to be careful if you're representing yourself pro se in any case that you really know what you're doing. I forget what that I keep getting it wrong, but I remember there's like a saying or like something about like oh, what the heck is it? A man who has himself for his attorney has a fool for a client. A man, I forget how it goes, but you know what I mean. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. It's kind of poignant, right? Yes. Ah, I talked to my mother yesterday, and she couldn't find her fudge recipe. She's almost blind. I'm going to go one day this week and see her. I will get it then, and I will email you when I transcribe it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, and give your mother my best, please. Give your mother my best. Yeah, something like that. That's pretty close. That's pretty close to it, right? We'll do that. There we go. We'll save it.
Issue. Domestic situations, threats between spouses, not an issue. Partners, not an issue. Or family can also justify emergency protective orders, EPOs, or domestic violence orders, DVOs. Doesn't apply here. Free speech. Kentucky courts, like federal courts, must still respect the.
Well, why don't you guys go back to North Carolina and go find out? I mean, she's supposed to be your friend. I mean, you guys had such a good relationship that you decided, I don't know, moronically to send her to a. Well, apparently she went to the wrong place and started poking around on private property. I mean, for all we know, she's in jail right now, embarrassed as hell because she trespassed on private property. Maybe she got a felony trespass charge. I don't even know, man. I might know a thing or two, but you know about a thing or two. But that's your friend, buddy. Why don't you tell us? Yes, coffee is amazing, by the way. Giggles. A broken system, broken trust. When her family and job told her to stay off social media if she is legit missing, then why hasn't a missing persons report been done? Yeah, why haven't you guys are just such, you're so concerned. Why don't you fill out a missing persons why don't you record yourself calling the local sheriff department in that part of North Carolina, wherever your best friend, that pizza girl, lives, and why don't you on record, on a video, on a live stream, do exactly what you think you need to do, which is, I guess, file some kind of a missing persons concern. Why don't you do that live like you did when you wouldn't listen to the sheriff or the police officer that told you that there was no murder investigation, but you didn't want to hear that, did you? That it was ruled a sushi side, but you didn't want to hear that either, did you? You thirsty little thought.
The First Amendment. So idle hyperbole.
Is it pronounced hyperbole or is it hyperbole? I mean, I don't know. I actually have respect for Finkel's intelligence, so I'm like, have I been saying it wrong all these years? Hyperbole, right? Or being hyperbolic. I mean, well, that's where it confuses you, right? Because to be hyperbolic, hyperbolic. I mean, why would it be hyperbole in one instance, but when it's hyperbolic, with an IC at the end of it, you change the cadence of it. That's a good question. I might be saying it wrong this whole time.
Isn't really a threat. Let's go over some examples that I'm aware of. Granted, there may be other examples out there that I'm not aware of. I don't have time to watch every YouTube channel all the time.
Well, I mean, dude, I don't know, bro. I don't know. You have to be like woefully being obtuse with logic, reason, and evidence, buddy. I mean, we all heard the same phone call. But yet you interpreted it as something else, man. It's just crazy. Yeah. Oh, so wait, so you're speculating that she's missing? Well, I know that reporting someone who's not missing as missing and using resources, or perhaps creating an issue where there's a resource problem, um that could be no bueno, if you know what I'm saying. That could be no bueno. You get in trouble for that. You can catch charges for that. I'm pretty sure you can catch charges for that. All right, let's go. Let's get some music on. Why hasn't her family done a missing persons report? Because she isn't missing, just not talking to the union/cult. Yes, she's probably been an embarrassment to the local area because she started talking to you Muppets. That'd be my guess.
I barely have time to maintain my home. I am aware of someone in Kentucky offering a few folks.
God, you're like a broken record, dude.
At a geographical location, Fort Knox. And
it's your phone call. Why don't you print the transcript, buddy? I mean, it's your phone call, dude. I mean, it's your claim. It's your argument. Why don't you put out the evidence, dude? Why, once again, just like a lazy EBT, white trash American, you want other people, you want hardworking people that have been paying taxes almost their entire life to freaking do your work for you. Hasn't society done enough for you? Isn't it time that you roll up your sleeves and actually do some of your own work? Isn't it time, buddy? Isn't it time you stop couch surfing and actually roll up your sleeves and do your own work? There was too much gish galloping with the inaccuracies to respond to all of them here and now. Oh, look who decided to use a new word that they learned from me. I'm doing God's work, guys. I'm doing God's work. I'm doing the Lord's work. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Amen. God is good. Thirsty thought. Looks like you need some relevance again, so you came over to kind of poke at good old GS, huh? Trying to get some relevance. It's crazy. It's like a NC Tyrant Hunter. I made an observation, and my observation is, it seems to me NC Tyrant Hunter has 200K subscribers. I've got 2.15. So it's like 2,150 subs. I think I had like 264 views, and at the time of posting it, NC Tyrant Hunter only had like 2.5, but I think he's now up to like 3.6 views. So I'm sitting here and I'm trying to think to myself, how is it that somebody who has 98% more subscribers than I do is just, I mean, the percentage of views to subscribers for NC Tyrant Hunter really screams. There might be some shady bot farming and bot buying and subscription purchasing. There's something going on there. What's up, Rabbit? There's something going on there. There's some fakeness going on there. All of my subs are real. I mean, granted, I started my account like 5 years ago when I was doing like Periscope and I was trying to transfer people over from Periscope. So I started the account like 5-6 years ago now. And so probably the people that used to watch me on Periscope who knew me as Porch Dick, they probably don't really log in anymore. So there's probably about 500 subs that are just dead subs that, probably will slowly get cleaned off my rolls as they're inactive. But I don't buy my subs. My subscriptions, my subscribers, the people that support me 100% legit. That's why you guys don't really understand is like, how does this guy get so much traction? Like, how is this guy getting so much traction? Because I'm genuine. Because I'm not fake. Quite literally, I'm not fake. People want genuine people in the world. There's enough people out there trying to lie to people. They don't need more. Just, people need to stop lying. Pull up the exact words from, dude, you do it. Why don't what content are you putting on your channel? Like, seriously. What happened to Sean Porter? Sean Porter washed his hands of you idiots, didn't he? He did what he had to do, or did what he thought he had to do, and he's like, I'm out, dude. These people are lunatics. Absolute lunatics. You guys have no credibility. We already broke it down. Yeah, in your own backwards, ignorant. Like, listen, man, if you guys were so successful, so intelligent, and just crushing at life, you wouldn't need to couch surf at all. You wouldn't need to couch surf. You guys are sad. I mean, listen, I get it. I get it. You guys are sad. You guys are really, really sad. It's kind of pathetic, actually. All right. I claim that I didn't believe Billy's story. Okay. You do. I do what? It's not Billy's story. See, this is what I'm talking about with you people. It's not Billy's story. It's the official report. The official report says Sushi side. I mean, you can't be this ignorant, right? Or are you? Is this an act, or is this, do you come by your ignorance naturally? Because at this point in time, it's starting to feel like willful ignorance. Bro, let's see, broken system, broken trust. We've heard the call and are capable of understanding a person when they say there is no Merker investigation. I mean, that's what I scored the highest. I was in the upper 90 percentile on my ACT when I got out of the military. In order to go to college, I had to take an ACT. I was in the upper 90 percentile in reading comprehension, grammar, stuff like that. I mean, I'm like in the upper 90 percentile, and both of those. I think it was like 96 in one and 98 in the other. That's where I shine, bro. So to sit here and tell me I don't really understand words and what words mean and what's being said, it just shows a rudimentary lack of understanding on your part. Yeah. Was all of your rocket scientists think you have solved the mystery of Bermuda Triangle? Jonathan P. says they've changed the law here in Alabama about making false claims that use resources. Oh. All right, here we go. I think my opponent might be getting a little annoyed here. Understandably. Shadow says, "Oh, BSBT, wasn't sure who was being addressed. Nobody worthy of reading. You know what? I'm gonna take a page out of it because I really want to hear what somebody that I actually care has to say. So I'm gonna go back to listening to Finkel here once I get caught up. As usual, it runs from a hard question. Shadow says, "Oh, that reminds me. Smash that like button with the thumb on it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think I forgot to do that too, didn't I? Oh, nine likes. Thank you. What happened? Okay, that's just disgusting, dude. Why do you keep doing that? What happened? What happened to your couch? What happened to supporting your children? I mean, it's like, whoa, dude. Whoa. All right. Your kids with your sister because you are a deadbeat dad. Yeah. So I found out apparently that Erica Landau, I think isn't it Landau? I kind of found out, like, I kind of feel bad a little bit because I found out that Erica Landau probably isn't a bad person, but she definitely doesn't like you. Your own sister can't stand you, bro. Your own sister. It's not a good look, man. I mean, it's got a lot of these dirtbags. Their family members reject them. It's funny because these morons read the sheriff's report. People would immediately have to eat crow because his stupid self doesn't even know the layout of our home. He's basing it off of his time here. Yep. Shadow says, "Hi, my name is David, and I am an alcoholic, addict, and liar. It's been 13 years and 1 month since my last drink. 15 Days since my last lie, and I'm still struggling with nicotine. Okay, BSBT, your turn. Shots fired. Hold on, guys. I got a tickle in my throat. All right. All right. I'm over here not paying attention. Vintage. His brain is the Bermuda Triangle. Holding up with all the crap they piled on you. Yeah. I am wonderful. My beautiful wife is here with me, and her spirit is flowing through me. These morons ended up giving me more of a blessing than they ever realized. Yeah. Let's just say had another phone call with Rabbit recently, and I'll leave it at that. Let's just say that he's struggling, but he's he's on a victory. Let's just say yeah. We've never known Rabbit to be a highly emotional person or a very emotive person, unless he's playing a role, like when he's doing his channel. But hang in there, brother. You're doing good. And it has nothing to do with these idiots. It has everything to do with the loss of his wife. So that's my opinion on it. Amen, Rabbit. Keep on trucking and honoring your beloved. Don't let the trash keep you down. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that because these jagwagons they don't deserve anything, because it doesn't matter what you say, they'll twist it anyway.
The suggestion would be compare DD214s for those who have them. At least one person doesn't have a DD214, and I'm not dunking on the lack of a DD214. But for those who have them, compare DD214s. Legal entry to the base, to the fort, to the post, and go to the pit, where, among other things, combatives are trained on. Combatives is how soldiers train with bugle sticks, bungee sticks, or how they train with bayonets, or non firearm related combatives, person on person. Wow, that sounds pretty scary, especially someone who's trained versus someone who's not. I guess the people who aren't trained in combatives might be trained in other, shall we say, martial arts or other forms of fighting, boxing. I don't know. Okay, so is that a threat? I say, nay, that is not a threat. That is an invitation. The only way a reasonable person could get scared by that is if they choose to accept the invite to meet at the gate and accept the invite to go on in and work things out in the pit. That's an invitation. Might even be hyperbole. Hippie bowl. It's not a threat. He's not saying he's going to someone's address and work things out with the military skill set of combatives. He's inviting you to meet him there. All you got to choose to avoid that, is don't go there.
Based.
Everyone I'm aware of being invited has no purpose to go to Fort Knox. What are you going to do? Tour the gold depository? No, because hell, even politicians can't tour that. Yeah. YouTube characters involved with the invitation, what they're calling a threat. They have no purpose to go to Fort Knox at a certain time on a certain day. There's really no business for any of them there. So that's not a threat.
Ironically, to that point, I actually had business. My business was go to the commissary, and I ended up not going to the commissary because I spent so much time in the PX. Ended up getting my wife as I was heading there. My wife said, can you try to pick me up some comfortable pajamas?" So I ended up getting my beloved three comfy PJs, and I think I got myself. What did I get myself? A shirt or something. I can't even remember what I. Oh yeah, that's right. I picked up that kind of interesting, almost not really quite a Hawaiian shirt, but I ended up picking that up. That was a good time. And then I just live streamed it. I live streamed the whole thing. I live streamed me sitting there talking very calmly, not aggressive. When the accusation was that I made a ist threat towards an installation and towards uh, soldiers that were on said installation, which is ridiculous because I had so much love for this posting. This was my last duty station that we ended up, and well, frankly, my wife had a job in the area and some friendships, and my wife had moved so many times with me in my career that when she actually asked and said, look, I really have I have a friend, at least one friend here that I really really love, and I've got a job that I really like, and I'd kind of like to see if we could retire here because my plan was to go back to Kentucky, or not Kentucky, to Connecticut, because I got family and friends up there, and I miss them. I miss them dearly. Um, don't miss the politics in Connecticut. It's a little odd for me. It's a little too far to the left for me. But the people there are relatively good. It's the government that's kind of eh. But anyway, I digress. And so I decided we stay here. I mean, it's like the fact that I refuse to wear a mask anywhere else during the whole mandated mask mandate nonsense, even though good old Fauci came out later and said you'd have to put like 5 or 6 masks on in order to get any kind of protective effect, or you'd have to have like an N94 or whatever the heck the name of that mask was. And that would have to be properly adjusted, properly fitted. I mean, they actually fit them. They actually get on the medical, it gets fitted with these masks. And I refuse to wear a mask anywhere. And the installation had a policy that if you were to enter any of the buildings on the installation, that you had to wear a mask. And being that I understand that to be on Fort Knox as a retiree is not, I don't have a right to be there. It's a privilege to be there, and out of respect for the fact that I understand that a privilege is not just granted and unending. It is contingent upon you behave a certain way. I will go out of my way to respect the policy, that post, the installation, because I understand that the benefit of being able to access said post far outweighs any ideological principle that I was currently holding in that particular situation. I'm not saying that there won't be a principle in the future that might outweigh my wanting to go on the post if I have to sacrifice something that I'm not willing to sacrifice. But throwing on a mask to go into a pharmacy to pick up medication for a maximum of 10 minutes, yeah, I don't, or less. I think I wore a mask in that whole period for maybe 2.5. I was keeping track. It was like 2 hours and 45 minutes or 5 hours. I forget exactly what it was. It's so, God, it feels like forever ago that the whole COVID stuff was going on. Just Cause says, Rabbit, when you have a chance, check out a program called Grief Share. It is a good program, faith-based. Thank you, Just Cause. Shadow Finkel says the PX at Fort Belvoir. Belvoir, that's got to be in like Maryland. Okay. Yes, it's ridiculous how expensive everything is there. Took me a long time to figure out why they have a higher than normal officer rate than a typical Army post. All those paper pushers at the Pentagon. Yeah, that's the thing that is crazy, because usually when my wife and I go, we go to the. Yeah, I'm addicted to the truth. Oh, there you go. Yeah. We go to the clearance wherever there's any kind of clearance. And it's funny because the men's clearance is still like $40-$50 items, but the women's clearance is you can get some good stuff for like $5, $6, $7. I don't understand why women's clothes are so much cheaper than men's clothes. It's probably because women buy outfits all the time. and men kind of like buy something and wear it and wear it and wear it, so they try to get as much money out of you as they can for a man. I'll be back. I got to go walk the dog and eat breakfast. Alrighty, Jonathan P. I'm going to be leaving here probably. I'll probably be getting off here between 10 and 10:15 or something like that. Got to get ready to do a few things. I got some irons in the fire. I got some business to attend to, and I've got Broken Bones to meet. So I'm gonna be meeting. For those of you who remember Broken Bones, one of the viewers, he's gonna be in the area basically Sunday to Tuesday, and asked if I wanted to meet up. So I think we're gonna go have lunch, and I don't know. We'll have a good lunch together. We'll break some bread, and I get to meet that person in real life, and I think it'd be great. Oh, I don't even know why I highlight that person. That person's so bad faith. It's just like flow state. Just like flow state. Matter of fact, I don't really think I don't really think I want to. I don't think I really want to hear from you, man. So, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. I may or may not be streaming on this channel tomorrow, so maybe I'll see you Wednesday. So, yeah, yeah. So, yep, it will be nice. So,
I also heard today.
Normally I wouldn't want to like. It's just when you start realizing that somebody's just coming in. When somebody's just coming in to purposefully try to cause people, the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy joy, peace, harmony, love, acceptance, all these things. The devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy all this stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Flow state is exactly that kind of dishonest person, too. Yeah. That's why I don't allow them on my streams. I did for a while. And you just got to realize after a while if you listen and somebody tells you who and what they are, you should really listen.
That there was a threat against dogs. Haven't seen the context. I do trust the source.
Hey, Rats.
Who told me that? But I was thinking about that.
Good to see you. Good morning to you. Yeah, sorry everyone. I was just like I said, man. Normally I stay up. I've been staying up till like 2-3 o'clock in the morning for the last, I don't know, 2.5 weeks. And it's probably good that I did go get some sleep last night, but I guess I was a little tired than I thought I was. This does, fighting for your freedom and trying to get your rights back when they've been understandably taken by an order based on somebody's hands being tied, so to speak, over an abundance of caution. I can't even talk about some things here. I probably shouldn't even be saying that, I guess. I don't even know. I'm just saying it takes a lot out of you, chat. It really does. It takes a lot out of you. It takes a lot out of me. Do I do this? I think I let that go. So I guess I was a little more tired than I thought I was, but I do appreciate everyone that was everyone that was kind of like tuning in last night. I'm glad you guys supported Killamilla. Rats, you're one of my mods. If you can make sure that you could go try to find Killamilla's channel, so that way other people can follow it if they're not already. So it's at Killamilla 0513. So here I'll type the @ in the chat here in a second. Let me finish this real quick. But it's at Killa, Killa Milla MILLA 0513. And also make sure you're following Boot Productions too, otherwise known as Boo Products, according to Gregory, I guess. I don't even know. Anyway, I'm generally sophisticated, and so I guess I was a little more tired than I thought I was last night. But I'm very grateful for the outpouring of support. Apparently, there are people that are bound and determined to come to my hearing. There are people that have their own their own complaints, so to speak. And well, I don't necessarily think that'll be the right venue for it. And I think Boot said something about, like, have your own little files, your own video clips, your own thumbnails, your own, manila envelopes with all the proof and all the, I mean, if you can imagine something like that happening, I mean, just a massive outpouring. It's kind of like when I went to JJ's ethics hearing back when I told everyone, I said, I'm listening. I'm going there to hear what this man's being accused of. I'm going there to hear what this man is being accused of. I have not made up my mind. Right? I had not made up my mind yet. And I walked out of that hearing. Oh, by the way, I think there were two people. I think there was Seeley's son, Seeley, and then three, and Seeley's lawyer. Those are the only people that were there to support that Seeley guy who was making these spurious claims against JJ Scarborough. The entire auditorium, minus the council or whoever was adjudicating over it, was there to support JJ. They were there to support JJ. And I sat and I listened and I paid attention. Then I heard the lies that a certain person said when they claimed that they were being harassed. And I'm like, I saw absolutely no engagement whatsoever. I saw a person who claimed to have something against another person sit 2 seats from them in the same exact row. But I saw no harassment at all. Not even one iota of harassment. So it's after a while you start to realize that somebody is lying to you and somebody else is telling you the truth. And you really got to pay attention, folks. You don't have to, but you really should pay attention. What's up, Billy? Yeah. Billy was at the ethics hearing. Matter of fact, Billy was one of the people that the other person that they had an EPO against Billy sat two seats from Billy, claiming that they were afraid of him. Yeah, I hear you. It's awesome to see everyone there supporting JJ. It was awesome, yeah. And from what I'm hearing right now, there's a possibility that I'm going to have a great amount of support at my hearing of people being like, how is this possible? I mean, this is crazy that this is happening to this guy. Yeah, I'm a bit of an a-hole. Yeah, I'm a bit of a shit talker online. But children having anything to do with like stalking or harming children, that I find that so repugnant that could even be an accusation with no foundation at all. But anyway, I can't really talk about much of anything like that. I'm just saying, if anyone were to be accused of something that they didn't do like that so dramatically, yeah, help. Boot says, "Yep, what great people doing the na 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 song." Oh, really? I didn't even know that. Like I said, I was asleep most of the night. Take care, Finkel. Good to see you. I should be playing this.
The allegation is
yeah. But it's like, and I think one of the main reasons why I do have the support that I do have is because I told the truth about JJ. I reported, I observed, and I reported, and I walked out of there a JJ and an Amber fan based on what I heard with my own ears. Not what I wanted to hear, not what I thought I heard. Jesse loves that that accusation is out there. Yeah. Yes, you got more support than you know. Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. It's like, and I think I owe that a lot to the people that have supported JJ. And you guys, like I said, I found out you guys were just salt of the earth people. Just the people that other people claim that they are. You guys are. Definitely clear your name with the kid stuff, and yeah, I appreciate that, man. I gotta be careful because, like I said, I'm not I'm not used to being in the court system. I'm not quite 100% sure what all the rules are. And the last thing I want to do is disrespect the judge or the judge's orders or anything like that. I want to go so bad to that hearing. I know. I know. I know. And I
The
appreciate that.
allegation that there was a claim that a certain canine or group of canines would be better off dead. That's a dark thought. That's a mean thought. Maybe it's a wish. Maybe it's a hope. Is that a threat in itself? A threat against the relative canines, the dogs? And the claim that I trust the person claiming. I don't know about the interpretation of the claim. He said he would do the deed. I'm not familiar with this. Maybe I should have asked the person in private. But did he say he's willing to do the deed if the dog owner wants him to? Or did he say, I'm going to do the deed with or without your permission, or something to that effect? If it's the former, not the latter, it's not a threat. None of these are credible threats because the person making these suggestions, hyperboles, at any point said they would go to the location of the dogs or the people involved. It's dark. It's not nice. We've all said dark and not nice things, but a threat. A threat to the point where a reasonable judge.
Let's see. We got Rat says, I have to say I admire Finkel for going on the tube with his yeah. I mean, this, like I said, he's probably one of the bravest people I freaking know. I'm not glazing him at all. I mean, yeah. I'm glad I didn't throw the baby out the bathwater of Finkel. I knew there was a reason. Why I always try to continue to extend an olive branch to Finkel. I hope Muckster would be in the same boat with that, but I'm just not sure. But I knew there was always a reason why I always try to leave something open with Finkel, because I felt like there's something about the guy that just that I think he did yearn for understanding and truth, and and maybe I didn't look at it quite the same way he did, or vice versa. But I don't know. I really do appreciate him. I think he's brave, dude. I think he's very brave. And to be frank, Finkel and I are a lot alike as far as like how being such an open book. And if it wasn't for the fact that I had a wife who tries to be as insanely private of a person as possible, and doesn't even, I mean, I'm proud of my kids. I love talk. I'd be talking about my kids all the damn time. And I'm proud of my wife, but I try to err on the side of caution, because it's just not me, it's other people in a relationship. But Finkel and I are a lot alike where, yeah, I don't really feel like I have a lot to be embarrassed about. My life has been my life. My deeds have been my deeds. My choices have been my choices. My words have been my words. And there's a freedom in owning it. There's a freedom of not hiding from it. There's a freedom for not being embarrassed about mistakes or good things that you've done, or whatever it is that's going on in your life. There's a freedom in being genuine, and I think that's probably what it was. I know I kind of felt, although I didn't really agree with Finkel or maybe his methodology on some things, I always felt that he was at least not full of shit, if that makes any sense. Let's see. Going YouTube with issues. I think I would just be too depressed. I give him credit. And that is hard for me to do, even if he has turned a new leaf. I understand. Yeah, I understand. And I've said some pretty horrible things about Finkel too. Of course, I didn't, I felt like I was kind of pushed to, I begged and pleaded for a lot of these people to, like, come on, man, this isn't right, dude. I'm exactly what I said I was. And, because I came out against Izzy, who Finkel has shown to be, knowing that this person was a divider. I don't know if Finkel heard that when she was in Las Vegas, she was bragging about wanting to take over other people's channels to actually steal the channel from them. Instead of building something herself from the ground up, she wanted to steal their channel. I mean, it's just disgusting. Giggle says, I can't read some of this stuff, guys. I can't even talk about these things. Back to work. All right, Billy. Let's see. The depths of okay. Yep. I can't really read some of this stuff, guys. I'm gonna let you guys talk a little bit, but I can't read some of this stuff.
Well,
I mean, maybe I can. I don't know. So I'm trying to be very cautious. So
5:54. Okay. I got to head out in the next 6 or 7 minutes. A reasonable judge would take those in those contexts. Maybe there's more stuff I'm not aware of. If this was under sworn testimony, oath under penalty of perjury, I mentioned something here. The suggestion that a child would be better off in the custody of Child Protective Services, CPS. That is their mission, protect children.
I agree.
It could easily be a misunderstanding or a correct understanding of the child's welfare under the parents or guardians that child lives with. So to be better off with,
I mean, frankly, there's already been a record of my mens rea. I don't have a criminal mind when it comes to doing this. My intent is to certainly not violate any kind of thing that may or may not be out there. So I don't even want to talk about it. Actually, I don't even want to say it because I guess that might even be like a violation. So I think that there would be a body of evidence of me trying to do my best to be respectful. All right, Boot. Of me trying to be respectful to the process and not violate it. So I mean, maybe that would give me some grace in the eyes of the court. Certainly not my intention to. I've never wanted to make victims. First off, and the crazy thing for me is, like I said, to be accused of some of the things that I may or may not be being accused of. Again, I'm being super vague. When there are people who run towards the sound of gunfire, and then there are people that run away from the sounds of trouble, and to be, for a sheepdog to be accused of being a wolf is, it's what a sheepdog understands. The wolf does what the wolf does. The wolf kind of almost can't help being a wolf, right? And it's just how the wolf operates. So the sheepdog understands that wolf does wolf things, but the sheep still need to be protected, even if the sheepdog, even if the sheep think that they should be afraid of the sheepdog based on the behavior of the wolf. The sheepdog still has a job to do. That's what I look at it.
People who professionally safeguard children, that's not a threat. It's not a threat. If the parents are good parents, and we don't know, we don't see them offline, we don't see how they go through their day. Well, I think.
I'll just say that I have remarked that for about a good solid week, it seemed like that there was a narrative being built up, Giggles, and I mentioned it often. Also, pictures of a particular place had been sent to me via email, and I remarked to people I would be very cautious about using it. It feels like a trap. It feels like trying to set up a premise of stalking and harassment is what would be the premise that the person that sent it to me. This person claims to be something that I'm pretty sure they aren't. And I could be wrong, but they offered to sit down with me and have lunch. Well, we're going to go ahead and do that. And if I owe an apology, then I will apologize to that person. But in the meantime, out of an overabundance of caution, I'm kind of the mindset of I kind of think I know a trap when I see one. And I mean, maybe these alleged criminal masterminds over here are used to dealing with midwits that aren't really sophisticated enough to kind of see the writing on the wall. But a lot of people say I'm cynical, or I've got a paranoid mind or something like that. And I keep telling people I did counterinsurgency training for over 5 years in the army. I understand how evil people think. Most decent people don't think the way that most criminal minds do. That's why it's so easy to get conned. That's why it's so easy to be tricked. That's why it's so easy to be fooled. Because most people, while they might not be good, i.e., the Bible says, why do when Jesus was called good, he said, why do you call me good? There's only one who's good, and that's God, right? Even Jesus corrected Peter. I believe it was Peter that said, you're too good for this to happen to you. You can't go away. And he said, get thee behind me, Satan, because that's a lie from the pit of hell, because there's only one who's good, and that's God. But understand that even if you're not good in the necessary equivalence of how God is good, most people are decent people. Most people just don't have a criminal mind, and to think like that. Most people want to be charitable. Most people want to see people smile and laugh. And then you've got the people out there that are just crooked. There's no straight path in them. And what is it? Make way the path straight. Make way for the Lord. Right? All knees will bow. All tongues will confess that Jesus is King.
In the hyperbolic mass media known as social media, or quite often anti-social media, I think we kind of exaggerate what a threat is. But when you get to the point where you can actually get a protective order, I don't know, do these things require sworn testimony or a claim under the threat of perjury if it's untrue? I don't know. Now, watched a little bit of Jeff's show from last night.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Jeff, you get a lot of shit wrong. Do you get some shit right? I don't know. The people who have brought me pieces of information, are they getting it wrong? But Jeff, you clearly got it wrong.
All right, Rats.
When you said inviting, paraphrasing, inviting people who have no need to go to Fort Knox to meet him at Fort Knox, that's not a threat, man. Get over your snowflakey self.
Damn, shots fired, Finkel.
Were pews confiscated, or are they going to be confiscated? I don't know, but I did see the accused threatener asked if the EPO or TPO or whatever the kind of protective order was true. He said, "Oh, that was the other thing Jeff said." He said, "Yeah, the order is real. Is it true? I mean, are the details of it true or not?" He didn't specify. But here's Jeff sniping him. By the way, Jeff, pretty cute how you skim over the things that.
Yeah, I'm glad you're mentioning that because I did peruse it as well. I actually recorded most of his show, and then I just realized that it's just that Jeff is just a nonsense machine. He's just a liar from the pit of hell. He must have made a deal with the devil, and that's how he made it out of Afghanistan and his injuries. Because I don't know anyone, chat, anyone at all that would get a second lease on life and then just become an absolute degenerate muppet all over the internet. What a disgusting bastardization of the second chance that the Lord gave this man. So that leads me to believe that the Lord did not give Jeff a second chance. That was some other power, would be my guess. Yeah, it's funny how Jeff played the part where I said, imagine that you had a mother or a daughter or a sister or a niece, right? Or a grandmother. Imagine that I said, we'll just use a female as example, because I mean, if you don't want to, in this society, if you don't want to protect females and children, I don't know if I'd want to be a part of this society. I mean, if your priority wouldn't be to protect females and children, what are we doing? right? And I don't know if I'd want to be a part of that. So the long and short of it is, Jeff would play me saying I agree with I understand why the judge did what the judge did, because he wanted to leave it in a particular up in the air, as if because I deserve these things because that I agree with the assertions against me. And I'm got to be real careful what I'm even saying here. But Jeff wouldn't let it play where I said, because God forbid that they don't grant it and something does happen based on the accusations against the person that is being accused. I mean, that's on the judge's hands. That's on the judge's conscience. That's something the judge would have to live with for the rest of his or her life, you know? So out of an overabundance of caution, I get it. I will have to say though, if anyone be in a position where they have a right of theirs, which is, I guess it's a privilege until it isn't. I guess maybe it isn't a right. Maybe we're calling it the wrong word. Maybe it isn't indeed and in fact just a privilege. But until or unless somebody has something like that taken away from them, and not only them, but their wife as well, based on an accusation. I mean, this is like, this is some like communist, Marxist kind of like, ratting out your neighbor because you want to live in their penthouse after they get kicked out. I mean, this is crazy town stuff. Like if you would have told me 10 years ago that was possible, I would have told you were nuts, man. There's no way. There's no way that something that isn't factually substantiatable that could ever happen. Especially because I don't think there's any kind of a red flag law in Kentucky. And I think in Kentucky, you have to have some kind of a relationship with the person, like a legit relationship with the person that would intimate that you'd have intimate details about the way their mind is or their daily behaviors. You can't just be some random person. But if you would have told me, I would have said, you got to be crazy. But I'm not angry, and so I want to impress upon everyone, and maybe I should be angry, but I think being angry right now would really not serve any kind of a good purpose. But I legit am not angry. I think I'm more baffled that what seems to be. I got to be careful what I'm saying. I'm just having a flow of consciousness, and it's just that a man who I legit don't know if I know I've been pulled over for speeding, but I think I've only ever gotten warnings. I don't know that I've ever had a speeding ticket. Never been to jail, never been to prison. It's like this is all foreign to me. 56 years on this planet. Seems to me like it's not hard to stay out of jail or prison. I'm not trying to cast aspersions upon people that maybe have had some bad luck. I'm just, in my mind, I'm like, I'm shocked because I'm a pretty boisterous dude. And, I'm pretty loud, or, I speak my mind, and sometimes I'll say some pretty biting things. But the fact that I've never been in prison or jail, or can't even tell you if I've actually ever had an effectuated speeding ticket or if it's just been warnings, because it's amazing when you treat people with respect and dignity. I don't know if Billy's still listening or not. I think he's at work, but just got a message. Okay, 1 second. I don't know if Billy's in here. Yeah, I just listen, bro. I rebuke the devil. Resist the devil and he will flee. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, Alan Killian. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And you have no power here. You are powerless. You are compelled. Christ compels you. repent and therefore be converted. If my people who are called by my name would but hit their knees and pray, humble themselves, turn their face towards God, then I would hear from heaven and the land would be healed. It's time for you to repent, Alan. You need to repent. All right, let me see. Billy. Okay. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Oh, let me let this play.
You sniped GS show pieces that included my super chat of $499.99, a penny shy of $500. Somehow you missed that detail. Jeff, I'm asking here, was it because that super chat came with a text reminding people that somebody is not paying their fucking debts? Pay your fucking debt, Jeff. I'm sorry, it's none of my business.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to hide his Dodge Durango in his fenced-in backyard because he's afraid the repo man's going to come take it again. Jeff, you should really square your own life away. And I guess he lost one of his dogs or something. I don't know. He had to go to the ER, and I guess it was like $500 just to get inside the door, plus whatever the costs were. So I guess he's like hardcore begging for money over there now. Or people are, listen, hey, I guess even evil takes care of evil, right? I guess even evil will donate to evil. What's the old? Let me paraphrase this: that even an evil father would do good to his son, or would want to do good by his son. For what father, when his son asks him for bread, gives him a stone, or asks him for a fish, gives him instead a serpent? So even an evil father, knowing that an evil father should try to take care of his son, how much more would your heavenly Father, Alan Killian, how much more would your heavenly Father want to do for you if you would just turn your face towards God, repent? Sin separates you from God, Alan Killian. My prayer for you would be silent. It's in my heart right now, that you would humble yourself, that you would soften your heart, that you would have a heart of flesh and not a heart of stone. I don't know who hurt you, who wronged you, but I can assure you it wasn't God. I can assure you it wasn't God. How do you know if GS is full of something or not? Are you a plumber? Have you been hiding in the sewer? Ooh, giggles. Shots fired.
There's a credit score, and there's a kind of credit you get with audiences. And I don't see where you have any credit, financial credit, with your audiences. All right. What do you say about the protective order? Oh, yeah. GS said that he understands why judges have to err on the side of caution. He didn't seem bitter about it. He understands why judges have to do this. If the testimony or whatever is submitted to obtain the order is false, 100% false, totally inaccurate, GS is explaining and opining that the judge has to err on the side of caution because it's been known to happen. Someone tries to get a protective order and either doesn't get it or it's not really enforced, and then that someone ends up getting harmed. It has happened, unfortunately. I really don't see where this would happen in this case. Damn it, 6 o'clock. I keep.
Hey, U-Haul. Hope you're doing well. Stay safe out there, man.
Jeff over there sniping it and getting it wrong, as he so often does.
Yeah, he gets a lot of things wrong.
Twisted that into a confession Understanding why a judge has to err on the side of caution is not a confession. Jeff,
Oh, so he thought I was confessing just because I understood that the judge's hands were kind of tied. It's funny.
isn't it my understanding there used to be a law enforcement NCO in the United States Army? I mean, isn't that what MPs do? Enforce laws on military bases and amongst military troops? Maybe that's from, I wasn't an MP, so I don't know. But wow. This is why the First Amendment audit community and other communities say never talk to cops, plead the fifth, plead the sixth. The fifth doesn't mean that you're hiding something. The Fifth Amendment means you don't want to give them something that they will twist into a confession of guilt. Twist. GS did not confess to being guilty of whatever is on that protective order. GS explained why judges have to be cautious with this.
I mean, it's like here's David Finkel, a guy who ideologically probably disagrees with so many things that come out of my mouth and my thoughts and my opinions. Here's David Finkel, right? The man, the myth, the legend, having to explain to, and this is why my argument is either Jeff is evil and a conniving human being, or he's been rendered mentally retarded. And I don't mean that in a pejorative way. I wonder if Jeff is like if stuff's skipping in his head. Either way, I think that there's a danger, right? There's a danger, right? In him being on the internet, because he's just like other people. These people are making victims. I'm not trying to make any victims. I'm just pointing out liars and the lies that they're saying. I'm standing in the gap, or at least that's what I think I'm doing, right? I guess we all think we're the heroes in our own stories at the end of the day.
If the complainant was truly at danger of a threat, he could be theoretically harmed by that protective order not being agreed to. On the other hand, the alleged threatener isn't really directly harmed that they have to confiscate weapons. Yeah, I could see the Second Amendment argument there, but he's not harmed. Well, unless someone tries a home invasion, he doesn't have the means to protect himself while his weapons are in custody. I'm not even sure if that's a real thing. Are his weapons being temporarily held? I don't know. But if they are, there's no harm done to the person who has to surrender them. He's not a hunter. He's not in a job of security. The only thing he has to secure to keep safe is his home. And quite frankly, people have been doxing his home for before we knew him on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Doxers dox is what they do. And when doxers dox, there are dark people out there who think they can act upon it in a negative way.
Yep, that's a fact.
So the only way GS is harmed by this temporary surrender of his weapons is if someone was to attempt harm on his property or home.
And I can say that there have been a plethora of braggadocious and celebratory statements, basically being made, and the intimations being levied. Yeah. Oh yeah. Um, I'll leave it at that.
So he's willing to go along with the protection order. I'm not even sure what kind of protection.
Well, we'll just say that it's quite possible that the principal complainant could be hoping someone else will do their evil deeds for them.
Order. But I just briefed you on Kentucky law, the KRSs. Was that Kentucky? Not sure what KRS stands for, but apparently that's Kentucky something. Like it, I don't know. 603. Okay. And finally, friends, YouTube friends, real friends, friends inside and outside of YouTube. People in these YouTube channels who take sides of issues, often those issues are, do we get along with people or do we not get along with people? Sides. I know we've come a long way with considering things sides. But let's say one side is people in Finkel's orbit, friends, YouTube friends, friendly acquaintances, people I interact with friendly on YouTube. And there's another circle over there around GS. He has friends, friendly acquaintances, real friends, YouTube friends, whatever. People who are nice to him. Now, I've never seen it. I've seen some chats questioning me and my motives.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone or never heard of anyone confronting GS with his recent decency towards me. I'm talking people who used to hang out in Fodder Wrangler's channel. I'm talking about people who have been with GS thick and thin since he was a YouTube channel. That's one side. And the other side is people who have been with me thick and thin since I had a YouTube channel. I've been confronted, questioned, in a friendly manner, but people give me a hard time for being nice to GS. That's one side. On the GS side, GS, has anyone confronted you in a negative way? Not negative way, what a word is. In a scolding way. In a scolding way about your niceness towards me. The only thing I really saw
Not
was
really.
someone, I think someone who used to be in Flight Wrangler's YouTube circle, question, what is Finkel's problem with JJ?
Yep.
I don't know if they are around or.
Yeah. That has, and maybe I can kind of elucidate on that a little bit. I'm not quite sure why David feels the way that David feels when it comes to JJ. Well, I think there's a history there that I might have predated me, because I think there are people that are a little bit more into the Fraud at Wrangler situation than I was aware of it, because I was kind of in and out and stuff. And good morning, Yoda Tex. And His Royal Highness Lord Mimsy, first of his name, put some respect on it. And listen, I don't think. I mean, people can do whatever they want to do at the end of the day, right? I mean, can we just admit to that? People are free to do whatever they want to do. But if I were JJ, I would well, and I don't speak for JJ, but if I were JJ, I would continue to extend the olive branch to Finkel. I think it would. I think you would be happy in the end. Because I think Finkel's a far better person to have on your side than against you for a lot of reasons. Other than it's always better to have more allies than enemies, especially if you can kind of count on them. Especially people that are being objective. Like Finkel's being objective. This doesn't mean he and I are best friends or buds and anything like that. Doesn't mean that there won't be a potentiality for that to be a fact. Right? I'm not slamming the door on any of that stuff. I mean, But man, there are people in his camp that are really vehemently against any peace being made between the two of us, or him being nice to me. And boy, they don't like it. They rage against the machine. They rage against the coming darkness. Right? What's up, Mister Monday? Good morning, GS. I'm getting telephone ear 90 minutes of phone already this early. Amen. I'm understanding that people are planning to show up to my hearing. This isn't me trying to brigade the court, but it's a public hearing. I can't stop anyone from showing up. I'd have to look at the paperwork. I don't even know what time my hearing is, what time of the day it is. But I really do appreciate that. Kind of overwhelmed actually with the outpouring of support. Truth be told. And means a lot. I'll just put it that way. But what Finkel's saying here is that most of the people, almost everyone in my camp, has been okay with Finkel and I having an olive branch between the two of us. Like I've said before, you can tell a man's virtues by his enemies, and you can tell a man's vice by his friends. Right? Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. Well, I can't read those things, and I'm not even going to respond to that, but you feel free to talk about that if you want to, but I can't even respond to any of that.
Or not at the time that JJ pulled his little game.
I appreciate that, Yoda.
For those of you who don't know, April 21st? April 21st, 2024. Not this year, the year before last year. I did a little joke, and I did a community post stating that I have a DOJ document.
Yeah, I remember that. Ended up being Johnson & Johnson.
I don't remember how I worded it. I paraphrase it.
So the interesting thing is that I actually know some of the lore of what's going on here, and I'm not at liberty to discuss it. But I don't even want to discuss it, but let's just say, Finkel, you may want to, you do what you want to do, man. You're a grown ass man, but you may want to show some grace to JJ. He may or may not have just played along with something. We'll just put it that way. It's kind of funny, but JJ's got an interesting sense of humor, and sometimes what we think is funny, other people think is serious. That's the internet. That's the nature of the internet. There's really no getting around it. We'll just put it that way.
A DOJ document that demonstrates J.J. Maybe was involved with illegal distribution of drugs, tampering with drugs, selling. I can't remember all the charges, but I posted it up there, like on the 20th of April. 21st, people were reacting. Remember, I made the accusation about J.J. Fraud at Wrangler on the 22nd of April, 2024, did a video saying that charges are being thrown up.
We only support you because of the waiting for a paycheck from either you or JJ. Yes, when I make my millions of dollars. Boy, I'll tell you guys. I will tell you guys. I think we're gonna look back at this, guys. I'm not crestfallen. I'm just trying to be very careful what I say, out of respect for the law, the way the law works in this system, to not be abusive of said system, to not take for granted said system. I am not crestfallen. I am not defeated. I am not in any way, shape, or form anything other than very determined, very, very determined to see this through to whatever conclusion it is. I believe that I've been uniquely positioned exactly where I am. People might laugh about it. Um, Fair enough. They might laugh and think it's funny when I say I think God has put me exactly where I am at a particular time. This is the dispensation that God has had for me. I don't have children in the house. I happen to have a very stalwart, strong-willed woman who does not wilt like a lily. Um, Even though this should be bothering her, I think it should be bothering. It should bother any woman to lose some of her rights. Based on words said on a YouTube. It could be easily marriage ending in some cases, where somebody might be like, "Well, I told you not to say all those things on the internet. Now look at our lives turned upside down." Thank God. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, that the woman that I've been with for almost 35 years is not that woman. Thank God that our marriage is going to be able to stand the test of whatever this is that's coming. In the name of Jesus, I will speak of those things that aren't as though they were, and I will confess that things that are exactly what they are. Um, I'm blessed. God has blessed me with exactly the right spouse at exactly the right time. I don't have a job for these people to try to brigade and send a bunch of emails to get me fired. So this is why they're angry, is because the only way that they could shut me up is probably to take my life. And frankly, I think there's some people that would love to do that. As disgusting as it is for me to even say those words, I genuinely believe that there are some people. It just shows a level of over involvement in some random person right there on the top of it. But when Sean Porter said that Tim Matthews, now this is alleged, I don't have any proof of any. Hey, Linda, is my internet buffing or is GS? It might be yours, Linda. Yeah, I seem to be fine. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna probably have to hop off here. I gotta do a little bit of work. But I'm gonna finish watching this video with Finkel. Um. Uh, but seems fine now. Okay. Google says Yoda Tech. GS has done nothing wrong yet. Someone. Well, I mean, I've said words on the internet. That's about it. Yet someone else can get on YouTube and accuse people of things. You can't talk about others and tell lies, yet he forbids anyone else from being honest. Yeah. Yep. Yoda. I know he has done nothing wrong. Is the other person that shall not be named has done stuff wrong. It must have been GS. He was frozen for me. Am I frozen still? Am I good? Can you guys hear me? Seems fine now. Okay. All right, let's let this play because I'm actually interested. I haven't heard any of this past like halfway through this video. It's all new to me.
No, this is the famous.
Okay. Thanks, Reds.
I know for a fact that Kentucky will extradite. There is a John J. Scarborough who works in Meade County, Kentucky, as a jailer. They automatically ass that the J.J. I was talking about was one and the same. Nowhere did I ever say that. But they reacted to it. They reacted it to a hard.
I agree. I agree, Lord Mimsy.
Very angry throughout Wrangler. He showed a kind of redacted document that showed charges against David Finkel. being pressed in the Kentucky County of Meade. We laughed. I laughed. Muxter laughed. The people who were on, we were doing a live stream when it happened. We all laughed. We laughed. But later that night or the next day, Flat Wrangler did a live stream, and JJ came up and he said, "Yes, this is real, and yes, I did this." It wasn't real. It never made it past the prosecutor's office. I don't know if it made it to the prosecutor's office, but it never made it past it. I laughed. Now, one of the problems I have with JJ, what he's doing to Chris Ryder, I don't believe he believes any of this will stick before a jury. Before it was at 9, 12, however many people, what's a Meade County jury? He knows very well that no jury will unanimously convict Chris Ryder of any of the bullshit he's pushing. I believe that JJ, John J. Scarborough, I think his intention is to cost Chris Ryder a lot of money and time, effort, and reputation fighting for his defense.
Now, I would say if it were going to civil, I think that might be the case. I'm not going to dismiss this statement offhand because I genuinely I don't know the mind of JJ Scarborough. I know the conversations I've had with him. I know what he might tell me. I don't speak for JJ. I don't pretend to know deep into his minds, right? But my understanding is the complaint was made. It's actually the state that's bringing these charges. But as a victim, he has rights in Kentucky. There's a list of rights that a victim has in Kentucky. Now, the complaint was made. It was deemed that charges were worthy of being brought, and now it's being adjudicated. Now, whatever costs are associated with that, and I think actually, if I'm not mistaken, there was a point in time in which JJ said to me very specifically, it might even have been on one of my panels, that there was a time that I told Chris Ryder, if you just stop doing what you're doing, just stop with the lies, stop being on the internet saying these things about horrible things about not only myself, my family, and this other person, I'll make sure that they drop all charges. I won't pursue charges. Well, Chris Ryder being my bad. I withdraw that. Let's just say the person decided to double down. And so this is in reference to what Finkel's saying, not in reference to anything I have between the other person. So I've heard JJ say that. I think he said it publicly, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if any of you have heard him say it, but I mean, there's an opportunity, man. If you're just, but he didn't want to take it. So now we are.
Lawyer fees, trips to Meade County or wherever court's going to be held, time off from whatever he might
exactly,
be doing
Mimsy.
Normal life.
Exactly.
I believe that was his intention with me. One, he failed to the prosecutor, and two, I know damn well a Meade County jury would never be able to unanimously convict me. To convict someone in a trial by jury, you need a unanimous jury. I don't think you can find a jury in the world that would unanimously agree to the charges alleged on Flat Wrangler's presented document that JJ swore up and down was his work for weeks after April 22nd. For the people who are asking GS, what is my problem with JJ? That's my problem. Why I can laugh at it, well, first of all, it never got past the prosecutor. I don't know if it got to the prosecutor or not. But I have the resources to travel, to hire lawyers, to absorb these incredible costs. Kentucky lawyers, they aren't a crap, an ounce of what lawyers around here, DC, Arlington, Fairfax County, them bitches are expensive. Of course, if I hired a lawyer to represent me in Kentucky, I think it would have to be a lawyer who's passed the Kentucky bar, be a RR. I don't, not this kind of bar, the legal bar. I don't shit 612. Timing. Um, so towards me, I laughed it off. It never came to fruition. Later on, JJ claimed, "Oh, I was just kidding. I was just funning." What's GS1 saying? I think it's from a movie.
Okay. So then he did say that. So then Finkel does know. So then I won't be saying anything that was told to me. That in fact that I'll just say that that was actually just a lark. It never was even filed. I don't want to go into any more of the details of that because I'm not sure if anything was revealed about that. But we could say that JJ actually wasn't happy that that joke was being made. I could probably say that. I'll just say that JJ wasn't happy. Did he go along with it just for the gag? Yeah, because that's kind of the guy that JJ is. He doesn't want to embarrass other people or call out other people publicly, and we'll just leave it at that. Okay. All right, hold on, guys. I got a phone call. All right, all right. Fun times, guys. Fun times. All right, let's let this play.
I was funning. I wasn't. But when it comes to Chris Ryder, he doesn't have the resources I have. He doesn't share somebody with the same last name who's a bigwig just across the river in the legal field. Shit, I shouldn't have said it loud. Some of you know my actual last name. I ask you to keep it to yourself. But if you know it, Google that last name in DC and add to the Google search lawyer. I did 5 law firms a while back who capitulated to Donald Trump in the DC area. There were 6. I avoided one. There's a reason I avoided one. Okay. Okay. So the person who asked, "What is my?"
Yeah, I'm making a record of that right there. There you go. There's my alarm. I'm going to go ahead and make a record of this. Yep. Internet's for everybody. So isn't high cholesterol damage to your arteries?
My problem with JJ. That's my problem with JJ. Now, I believe, and it could be inaccurate, but I believe for public safety's paranoia towards GS and people in GS circle who used to be in Flight Wrangler circle, who still adore John J. Scarborough. I understand why he's threatened by some of those people, including John J. Scarborough. I get that. I think this paranoia, well, that's not paranoia, that's a reasonable fear. John J. Scarborough and others in Meade County are costing Chris Ryder a fortune. And I think there have been credible threats, not from John J. Michael Kaiser. Michael Kaiser made some credible threats against, we won't go into that, and some of the people who followed Michael Kaiser, who, by the way, is in jail. I don't know how long. He's in jail, or is it prison? I know. I say jail and prison synonymously. I get it. There's a difference. He's detained. Thank you, Shiz Happens. Okay. He is detained. He's in a place with similar features as the Meade County Jail, only it's not Meade County, it's in Alabama. Okay, I'm rambling. Muxer accuses me of not having brevity. I don't know what the fuck Muxer's talking about. I have brevity. I do have brevity. Okay. 6:15. I really got to go. I don't know. I think there are people on YouTube who talk a lot. Hyperbole, sarcasm, dark humor, spider dog, wishing cancer on people, fantasizing about blowing somebody's back out who you're not sexually attracted to at all, which means an act of violence. Would that be considered a threat, spider dog?
What am I missing? I try not to watch Spider Dog's content because it's just demonic in my opinion. But what am I missing here?
That be considered a threat? Is that any more credible? Is that any less credible than, hey, meet me at Fort Knox, if you so choose? If you choose to travel to Fort Knox and meet me there, we can do these things. You didn't give that person, Slider Dog, you didn't give that person a choice to choose. So I don't know. There's a lot of crap on YouTube about I'm going to sue you, or you sue me, or I'm going to press charges. Happens all the fucking time. It very rarely actually happens. There's no reason why, if two people who...
I mean, I've got like an obscure gaming channel, and the people that claim certain claims go out of their way to seek me out. I mean, it's interesting. It's not a monetized channel. It's just a place to kind of chill out, hang out, review videos, have conversations, play some video games, stuff like that, you know? But yet, the victims, allegedly in Minecraft, seek out alleged victimhood. They come to perpetuate while claiming victimhood. I think Georgia Transparency, I think the word for that is called cry bullies. You know, that you cry out in pain as you strike somebody in the face because your hand now hurts, and then you blame them for your hand hurting. Stop running around striking people, dude. It's kind of weird, dude. It's kind of creepy.
Do streaming and are aware of each other and wish to discuss topics, shouldn't be able to discuss topics together. There's every reason for people like Jeff Appleby to make false assumptions, do a show that's entertaining to the weak-minded. I'm sorry. If you find Jeff entertaining other than laughing at, not laughing with, laughing at, kind of a sign of weak-mindedness. That's really all he does on YouTube is make fun of people, and when he's doing so, often gets it wrong. And sometimes he gets it right, but he focuses on the wrong thing. Like, these are credible threats, and that was an admission of guilt. Silly Jeff, silly Jeff. Well, 6:17 p.m. and the recording's not set up. The guys had a great closing. More had a great closing.
Oh, you guys are brutal.
Yeah,
Brutal.
can't find it. So without an actual closing, where'd you guys put that outro?
All right. Well, that was David Finkel. His thoughts on some things there. Yeah, I mean, I'm almost to the point where I'd rather just get rid of some of these people that aren't here for any good faith reasons. Because the last thing I want to do is have you guys, but I don't want to deprive you guys of your, playing with your food or anything like that. But I really don't want you guys being upset. I really don't. I don't think it's right to let somebody get all worked up like that. Unlike some people, I'm not trying to get everyone all upset. I'd rather see peace. I'd rather see some peace, but people don't want peace, so I'll keep calling out the liars. That's just how it is. I'll just keep calling out the liars that can't stop lying. Let me see. But in the meantime, actually, we'll watch this because I need some logic in my life, too. I need some logic in my life.
Intro.
Destroy these fucking lunatics. If your audio's messed up, just refresh the stream. Shit's gonna happen sometimes. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why the audio was bugged. I know that our frames aren't skipping a bit. I know that for sure, so just go ahead and refresh it.
To do a whataboutism, but I can understand the outrage of saying this is fucked up, that like that was kind of swept under the rug, not even talked about publicly. He definitely didn't announce it, but yeah, he announced Charlie Kirk's unalivement. He announced the Pew Pewers, who it was. Like, this is unprecedented times that we're living in, where our president is announcing the unalivement of a civilian, and then his, like, usual, and you understand what I'm saying, right? Usually this falls apart.
What's up, KFR? Good to see you. I will be getting in contact with some of you guys, being that I can't really put out a story. I do want to talk to, I want to get some advice from people that may have been through this, whether or not I can even give you guys the ring cam footage of the several incidents that have happened. So I do want to determine whether or not I can do that. So I'm not sure, but I don't think I myself can put out stories, but I'm not asking you guys to do it, to contact a third party or another party by third party contact, but I don't know if it's okay for you guys to do the story. So I may have to give you guys the data and watch you guys put together the story. So I think I don't know that I want to risk putting together the story and get myself into any kind of legal trouble. So if that makes any sense. Yeah. Haven't you live streamed with Rogue Nation, who is a multiple time career felon? Yeah. Well, good for you, dude. Good for you. I can't wait to watch it. I'm sure it'll be full of factual reason and evidence and data. All right, here we go. Let's listen to this.
On the local authorities, the governor, the mayor, whatever, in that situation. But you have a president who had a personal relationship with this civilian. And I think there's clearly showing a bias. And I think
I mean, if you can't hear
more
the
than
audio, you
anything,
should just
that's
leave.
what they were reacting towards.
And if you
And
can
it
hear me
wasn't a
tell you to just leave,
reaction
then
of
you
like,
can
oh my
clearly hear the
gosh,
audio.
this guy should be unalive.
See how
Like,
that works?
we shouldn't be
If
doing
you
this.
can't hear the audio, leave. And if you leave, then that means you can hear the audio.
The president issuing a statement or like issuing that if anybody within like that is coming here, an immigrant or on visas or something, cannot have an deportation. Come on, man. How do you think that this is okay?
Right. Like
That's all I'm saying.
I can disagree with you on like one thing, like, and like only Trump only focusing on just Republicans and all that. Like when it was announced that Biden had cancer.
I will say this though, behind the scenes, there's a lot of people working really hard to help this situation out. That I guess that kind of tends to happen when somebody's been injured, or so many people have been injured by the same person over and over and over again. I guess one can kind of understand that to be the case. There's so many people, I want to take a moment to thank God for putting me exactly where I am. I think I'm uniquely positioned, as I said before, to do this battle. I think I've been forged in the refiner's fire on so many levels to do exactly what I'm doing. That God put me exactly where I am with nothing really to lose by doing this, by pursuing this. Whereas I think somebody that would have a career and a mortgage weighing over their head and fearing losing a job based on, spurious or felonious accusations, or we've already seen this group of people, this degenerate sodomite types, don't have a problem mass reporting people, email campaigns to employers, trying to get somebody fired from their job so they can't put food on the table for themselves, let alone maintain a roof over their head by paying mortgages. That this cancel culture group of artards would love nothing more than to basically destroy people, right? That God has uniquely put me in a position where I am, other than the fact that if God be for me, who can stand against me? I mean, that's all I really need to say at the end of it. Well, we'll find out if God be for me. I think God has already demonstrated that, in fact and indeed, God has been for me for a very long time. Very, very long time. But I've been, like I said, I've been uniquely positioned. I don't have any young children in my house. I've got a very strong wife that is toe to toe with me on this, as far shoulder to shoulder, is ready to do whatever needs to be done. Is not blaming me for saying words on the internet and causing strife to our family. That there is no space between my wife and I at all when it comes to this at all. And we will see it through. Very determined. I'm very blessed that God is I'm not by myself by any stretch of the imagination. Besides the fact that I've said this to so many people in the past, you're never alone. Jesus is always walking with you. Jesus is always walking with you. All you got to do is recognize it. And when you're weak, you just call out to Jesus. You say, Jesus, I can't do this alone. What instruct me, light my feet so that I can see clearly where to walk on this footpath. So I've never, even if it seems like there aren't humans helping me or being alongside and supporting me, God is there. I know God is there. I don't have a feeling. I have knowledge that God is there helping me. And the fact that there are a plethora of people. I mean, I get a feeling I'm going to be a little shocked when that public hearing, when the stands are filled up with people there to support me. I don't mean completely filled. I just mean even if 5 people showed up in support of me. If you had asked me 10 years ago if I'd have 5 people show up at my funeral, I'd be shocked, because I just don't. I don't have a lot of family. I don't really. Most of my friends are really far away from me. You know, where I grew up and stuff. But to see the outpouring of support that I've had is just been like, it's been very humbling, very, very humbling, and I'm very, very appreciative. KFAR says, "Hey Russell, I'm still waiting on your intelligent expose on the criminal that is, I can't say these people. If you need any documents for that story, let me know, but my feeling is you won't." Toe for Life says, I've been quiet. Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't seen you for a while. I've been quiet for a couple of weeks. I figured you were just busy working. I've seen a couple of your shorts doing some repairs on motors and stuff, pulling a motor out. A couple of weeks just watching this stuff is getting stupid out there. I believe a lot of these people need to get a life instead of YouTube. Yeah, I mean, but YouTube is my business, so you know, to be fair, it's not a hobby for me. It's actually how I make money. You know, I try to provide entertainment, discussion, a place for people to have community. So yeah, but I hear what you're saying though. Dove says, GT, that would be amazing. Not really sure you are trustworthy sort though. I mean, all you gotta do is go watch Dummy Kruger's videos, and then you could do a video review of his video, and then you can point out where he's wrong, where he's having inconsistencies when it comes to that particular person that you seem to be backing. Just Cause says, shouldn't you be in Bama backing your friend? Bama? Rat says, you know, yutch, it only takes the tiniest effort to do homework to see who the liar and child threat is. Yeah, that's true. So I agree. And how is the fam? That's from Dove. Yeah, I can't even read that stuff because he keeps trying to get me to talk about something I'm not supposed to talk about. I think honestly, I think this right here could be an argument that that a certain person is sending people third party to try to contact me. I think that an argument could be made. I just want to make it very clear. I don't want anyone going into and asking about any of this stuff. I don't want anyone contacting the person I'm not supposed to contact or the people on my behalf. I'm not asking for that. I would actually ask the opposite. Please don't. You wouldn't be helping me. And I'm just saying this is another example of how another person probably isn't. I don't know. There's liability here, guys. I mean, people are opening themselves up to liability, it would seem to me. Yeah. I hope. Yeah, I can't even read a lot of this stuff. People who follow, yeah. See, there he is again. I can't address any of this stuff, guys. But according to Jeff, just me putting it up there means that I said it. According to Jeff, the brainiac. I mean, the brain dead. Yeah, it looks like you guys are just kind of talking back. Hey, Katie said, I've been offline since Friday. How is everyone doing? We're doing all right. We're I just talked to KFAR. I'm gonna talk to some people, get some advice, people that I respect and that understand the legal system, and I'm gonna find out whether or not I can send you guys some of the body cam footage, whether or not I can send you guys my ring cam footage or my testimony, and whether or not you guys can put out a story about the situation. Or if that would put me in jeopardy or not. So we may not be able to do anything until after the 22nd of September in regards to that, which somebody seems to be trying to shut me down from telling people about.
Answer, I believe, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe they did put the flags in half staff to kind of honor.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I think I've gotten enough of the evidence of that being a thing here, guys. So just to protect myself, I think I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to remove that person. So therefore, there won't even be a risk of me reacting to it, which is what I think they're trying to do, actually. Let me go ahead and lower this down here.
Biden fighting through cancer and all that. Again, if I'm wrong,
Katie said, I appreciate, well, I love the work you do, and you guys do body cam stuff really, really well. you and K-Fire, and I like the way you guys approach it. So I appreciate you keeping me updated, even though I wasn't online. GS. Yep. Yeah, I did try to do my best, but again, I'm trying to be careful what I talk about. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what the legalities of this stuff is because I'm not somebody that's in and out of jail.
Wrong, please correct me.
You might be right.
Begin.
Like,
Order 33.
And I think eventually he did
Make them
the flags to be
move
flown
to me.
half
Order
mast
33,
for,
ladies and
a
gentlemen.
day
Modern
for
brain.
the
Let's make this
unalived,
last one count,
House
boys and girls.
member
Let's make it
in
count.
Minnesota, but yeah,
Right.
and I'm not doing tit for tat. I'm really not trying to.
Right. No, I'm not either.
I think like the frustrations when it comes to somebody who's
Actually, rats. If anyone comes in talking about it, that is clearly an opponent, so to speak, just go ahead and hide them on this channel, and I'll go through it later after this, if you don't mind, rats. I know you got a wrench in here, so if you could just hide them. And I'd prefer that no one even like engage with them. I know it's kind of fun for you guys to quote unquote play with your food. Yeah. But I don't want to risk it just to watch some people get torn up a little bit by people that can't stand them. It's not worth the risk for me. What's up, Toe? Just handle your stuff. Don't let these characters affect your real life. Yes. It does affect it. But I hear what you're saying, and I appreciate that. I appreciate those words. I am in no way, shape, or form discouraged. I just want people to understand that. I am more determined than ever to continue along this line and to see it through.
this is their lives. This is their careers. This is their everything. This is what they do day in, day out, whatever. They are more highly involved
Execute
than we
Order
are,
33.
even, right?
So what Andrew means by this is because he's on the panel, he wants everyone to notice that he's on the panel he has his members like send in like roses and spiciness and stuff to get the attention of the channel owner, because the channel owner gets a percentage of whatever's donated to any of the speakers. Like if you like what somebody's saying, I guess on TikTok, and you can like send them like, I don't know, it costs like a penny every time or something like that to give them certain emojis or whatever. Like the spicy might be like 10 cents, but it's kind of cool. Like you can, I guess you front load money or whatever, and then you can do certain emojis. And so they get a ranking based on what they're saying, and usually the content creator will want to reach out to them and be like, oh, okay, you must have something worth saying. I guess I don't really understand how TikTok works overall. But that seems to be how it goes. Again, I'm not 100% sure. That said, so when he says execute Order 33, well, if you're a fan of Star Wars, that's when I guess the Clone Wars or something like that, where all the stormtroopers kind of like took everyone prisoner and they did all kinds of stuff
Within their
Right.
lives. So it is all consuming for them. And so, of course, they're going to have their reactions and their opinions. And whether it's not completely.
Well, I mean, I will say that while people were streaming last night trying to cover a certain somebody, and I was kind of watching secondarily, and kind of just observing as much as I could. I will say that apparently, I was a little bit more in need of rest than I thought I was. Meaning, I was a little more tired than I realized, I guess. I'm still a little tired. Well, so when I say it has, I'm not going to sit here and say it has not had an impact on my life. You know what I mean? You know what to do. You know what to do, rats. This shows propensity of dedicated online harassment right there. That's exactly what it shows to me. You know what to do. Hey, MC Dilligaff. Yeah, just desperate little boys and girls. Just desperate little boys and girls desperate for attention. Because obviously I was like pretty zonked out. I couldn't even stay awake for most of the shows that Killa and Boot did. And of course I was able to see rough stuff, but Let's see, Toa. Just don't let them get to you. Yeah, real life stuff. Yeah.
Like how we would do it or want it done. You know, I don't know.
Hey, what's going on, Andrew?
Hey, how you doing today? Thank you for having me up on your panel. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate you.
I agree, Linda. I agree.
So I wanted to kind of dive right in on this, and I was just going to quickly make the point that I've been all over TikTok this evening, and I have noted that the more I have conversation with leftists, the more I pull out the poisonous ideology. It turns out that most of them are actually celebrating that Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and they're a bunch of liars and are trying to pretend that they're not. And they know it was due to their rhetoric of calling everyone fascist and Nazis and everything else that led to this.
Okay, I've been up here for how long, Modern?
You've been up here for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's a significant. Do you think that I'm faking my position?
Yeah, let's just find out. Do you think that it was a bad thing or a good thing that Charlie Kirk was assassinated?
No, I don't. The way that he was assassinated.
No, not the way. I'm not asking about the way. Let's say he dropped dead. Let's say he dropped dead of a heart attack tomorrow.
I think people respond to you accordingly because you're very pushy and rude.
I just want to. Listen. I just want to get to the heart of this. I don't want to mess around with it.
Go ahead.
If Charlie Kirk had, if Charlie Kirk had, if Charlie.
Overtalk until someone gets frustrated.
Man. I'm not trying to overtalk. I just let me ask the question. I'll let you answer. Calm down, lady. Calm down. Lady, calm down. Listen.
Let's have Andrew,
Let me ask the question, lady. Calm down.
He did.
I haven't yet. Just calm down, lady.
You absolutely
Lady, calm down, lady. Calm down. So look
Well,
here.
go ahead, ask him
Okay,
again.
great. Let's say Charlie Kirk had a heart attack instead of being assassinated. Would that be a good thing or a bad thing?
That would be Mother Nature.
Answer my question.
I'm sorry that I'm not answering your question the way you
No, you're
want.
just not answering it at all. Would it be good or would it be bad?
Can I finish?
Yeah, I want you to answer the question. Answer the question. Would it be good or bad? 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 Would it be good or bad?
I am so curious.
Answer the question. Answer the question. Answer the question. Would it be good or bad? Would it be good or bad? Would it be good or bad? Just answer the fucking question. Would it be good or bad?
Is he for real?
This lady will never answer. Here, go through your stupid monologue and then never answer. And I'm gonna answer. I'm just gonna ask the same question.
Your first question that you asked me.
I'm just gonna ask the same question.
Good or bad that I'm alive. It's not nuanced. You can't make me mourn a person that I never respected.
Well, is it good or
right?
bad?
Is it good or bad?
Wait. Andrew, is it
And
cool?
I said the way that this happened in such a
Not the way. I'm asking if he had a heart attack. If he had had a heart
I
attack.
don't know about you guys, but I'm just starstruck here that
Either
Andrew's
way,
on
I
the
feel
line.
for
Let's
his
see.
family. I feel for his family. I didn't cause this, so I'm not gonna say whether something was.
So
good
let's
or
say he
not.
had a heart
I am not
attack.
gonna-
Let's say he'd had a heart attack
I am
instead of being
not gonna
assassinated. Would that have been good or bad?
And maybe you're angry and you're.
So a lot of people don't know. So Andrew did a show where he kind of did one second, I got to respond to something. We're meeting someplace for lunch with a couple of people. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to do a little coordinating. I got a lot of irons in the fire, and I'm kind of playing the video game and listening to videos right here to just kind of decompress a little bit. Dove, okay. So let me explain. So Andrew Wilson did a tribute to Charlie Kirk. Andrew Wilson was very angry because of all the disgusting rhetoric of the left of calling people Yahtzees and fascists and all kinds of other stuff like that. This kind of basically allowed, but you're gonna notice that she was actually not answering truthfully. He's going to dig down into this woman's true feelings. There's what she said on the surface, and then there's really what her heart was holding. And I have watched this. You're going to watch this man masterfully maneuver this woman to actually speaking what's truly in her heart, which is what's in most of these people on the left's heart. They absolutely hate free speech. They hate anyone that ideologically disagrees with them, and they want them absolutely murked. They want them removed from the planet, and they're happy about it. They're not gonna. Yeah, you're gonna see that Andrew Wilson is going to artfully, because I mean, someone can sit here and pretend that they're all nice, but if you just ask the right questions and you don't really accept the non-answer and you just keep asking the question, they'll eventually reveal exactly who and what they are. And you're about to see a master class. You're about to see a master class right here, guys. And I'm not even paying attention to my game. Dang it.
Holy shit, this lady will never answer the fucking question.
All right, you
And
say
maybe
the
you
mother
don't
name.
know how to properly.
So, like 3 days ago, I think. Well, actually, it's been more than that. It was like, I think it was the night of, or the day after. Andrew basically just did a stream where they were raising money because Tucker Carlson donated like $1 million of his own money to the family of Charlie Kirk to try to help them, understanding that Charlie Kirk will no longer earn another dollar actively. Maybe there might be a perpetuation based on Turning Point USA, that there might be residual things put into place, but his earning potential, his additional earning potential has been reduced to he can't earn another dime actively above what might residually be coming in based on the work he's already done. Meaning his family has now had their breadwinner removed for most intents and purposes. So he was raising money, and and his job, his mission was, he's like, I'm sick of these fuckers on the left, these evil fuckers, and I'm gonna call them all out. I'm gonna show you exactly that not one of these fucking pieces of shit leftists care that Charlie Kirk is no longer with us. They love it. They'll dance. They'll celebrate. They'll be dancing on his grave. All this disgusting stuff, and he's gonna go do war with them. And when people say that Christians, that's not very Christian, you're supposed to turn the other cheek. I'm the kind of Christian that goes to the riverbed and picks out 5 smooth stones, because I know Goliath has 4 brothers, and I know that Legion is never by itself. And I'm going to be armed with 5 smooth stones. I'm going to be armed with a sling of righteousness. I'm going to put on the whole armor of God. And some of us are built to be on the front line. Some of us are built as warriors to go to war in different ways. Verbally. Others their gifts are patience, and like Nicholas Bowling. I mean, the stuff I've seen that man put up with, he has the patience of a saint. I think some of us are built for different things. I think God gives us all different gifts. And now whether we use them or not that's a choice. And as far as like being willing to do battle and to rebuke and to challenge and to provoke the demon in people to come out and reveal itself, so that people aren't deceived by the silver tongue of these liars. And this woman is over here for the last half hour. She's been talking, and she's been saying some silver fork tongue stuff, but she hasn't really been saying how she really feels. And he's about to masterfully pay attention, guys. Pay attention.
You regulate your emotions, and that's okay. Maybe you were never
if he was
taught
poisoned,
that.
if he was poisoned,
You
would that be good or
absolutely
bad?
should be on a fucking list for like.
If
Oh
Charlie
yeah, I
was
should be on a list like Charlie Kirk was.
Yes, you're yelling
Like
at me
Charlie
without
Kirk was?
even fucking-
I'm not yelling at
like,
you,
without
lady.
even
You
hearing my
don't
point of
answer
view.
what I'm asking you.
I was saying I'm not out here celebrating his unalivement. Not in. you
Andrew,
will
to
not
be
hear me
fair,
do that.
she was not
I've
celebrating.
Okay,
never
okay,
fucking
but
said
okay.
this
Let me
is
just
a-
ask you.
this
Let me
is a
just
good
ask
thing.
you. Then I'm just gonna
I
ask
never
you
said this is a
directly.
good thing. It's actually
Oh, would
probably
you,
worse
lady?
because
Would you stop talking for
he's
5
made
seconds?
Hold on,
martyr.
Melts. Let's let him talk. Let's
He's
let's
made
have
into
Andrew
a
talk.
martyr, which he
Okay,
absolutely is
stop
not a
talking,
martyr.
lady. Here's my question. So
He's not a
Charlie
martyr.
Kirk is he's talking, okay, in front of the university, and instead of being assassinated, he was poisoned, and then later that night he died, not in front of his family or anything like that. Is that bad? And if so, why?
Again, I don't advocate for his unalivement. Never said that I did. No matter what.
Can you repeat my question?
What would you think of it?
Oh
Can
my
you repeat
God.
my question so that I know that you
Bad.
understood
There
it?
you go. Bad.
Okay, now why? Why would it have been bad?
I just said I don't advocate for.
That's not
anybody's
giving me a
unalivement.
reason why it's bad. That's just
Oh
saying you
my
don't advocate
God,
a thing.
Just because you want to fit me into a fucking box and have me say what you want, you're a fucking psycho.
What makes
dude.
it bad? Isn't he a snot?
So just saying something is something. He's trying to drill down. He's trying to ask her, well, what precisely is it that makes it bad? Right? Like, by what moral clinging do you ascribe good, bad, right? Jesus is king. Amen. I agree. Dove, not knocking your thoughts. Realism it'll be short-lived. I don't know what that is. There's a revival happening in Believe. Dove, I believe my gift is prayer, not bragging, but I believe God has gifted me prayer and how to pray. Amen. What does it say? The fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. The fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much, right? But it's hard to be righteous, though. So you got to be very cautious.
Nazi? Don't you think he's a Nazi and a fascist?
I personally, I didn't listen to him.
Oh my goodness. What a boss statement to make. Respectfully, realism is not what it seems. That needs, dude, Dove, remember that. Write that down. I want to put that on a generally specific t-shirt. And then I want to have like a Dove. I want to have a little Dove quote circa 2025. Like underneath it, attributing that. Don't let me forget that. I want that on a t-shirt. Katie Z, if you're listening, realism is not what it seems. With a generally specific logo, nothing super big, but kind of like with like a Dove circa 2025. By the way, I want to get with you. I don't know if you're still in here, but I'm gonna order. I'm planning on eventually ordering. I'm probably gonna wait till after this case stuff goes on. But I'm planning on ordering one of each color of those shirts. There's some really good color choices to choose from. Excuse me. Did you know that God collects our prayers in a bowl? Interesting. I did not. All right, so we do have lunch plans.
Long enough to have a fucking opinion on him.
So you don't know anything about him, so why would you say it's bad or good?
No, I chose to not listen to him because I don't
Why?
agree with his ideology.
Oh, so because he's a Nazi and a fascist, right? Because he's a Nazi and a fascist?
I mean, the things they were saying, like public executions in front of
There we go. So why are you so sad that this Nazi fascist who wanted public? Why are you so sad?
You?
What?
Why are you?
Well, because
That's something that he
this is the thing,
advocated
though,
for.
right? It's like
Is this his logic?
Yeah, this is
this
logic.
his fucking
Why
logic
why
right there?
is it that you're
Then
sad? Why is it that you're sad that this
Why are
person you consider?
empathetic when he says empathy doesn't exist?
Oh, there we go. So the thing is like
Why
if
are
this
you
guy if this guy he didn't say empathy doesn't exist, you're lying.
Oh, okay.
What he said specifically was that empathy first, and this is something I say often too. Empathy first is
Can
poison.
you pull me that quote?
Yeah, sure, pull it up. He says leading by empathy.
I said, can you pull me?
It's your claim. It's your claim. You claimed that he said empathy doesn't exist. You said he said empathy doesn't
You were
exist.
quoting him, not me. But
I was paraphrasing him. You said he claimed empathy doesn't exist.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well,
thought you
I
said
didn't.
that
You
was
just
what
made
he
it up.
said.
But
I
here
was
we're
misquoting.
getting to the
I
poison.
was
Hang on, we're getting to the poison now. Why
We're
is it?
getting nowhere
Yeah,
here,
why
Hunter.
is it that if you
100%
think he was a
honest with you,
Snazi and all of this
guy's not gonna
stuff,
stop. I'm not gonna.
You can hear how she's like trying to over talk and talk and talk. She's running away. Right? She's running away. Because she knows that she's defeated. Right? She knows that her logic doesn't follow. And he's trying to drill down. Yes, I hear you say X, but why X? Why? What is the purpose behind why you say X? And it's a very fascinating exercise in drilling down into somebody's worldview. He's not saying her worldview is wrong. He's saying that she's lying about her worldview. She's misleading people. She's not being transparent and truthful with how and why she really feels like. He's like, well, why would it be bad if you're claiming this guy is this horrible thing? Like, I mean, an entire generation of Americans, wore uniforms to fight fascism. They went, a whole world war was fought against it. Axis versus Allies. So why would it be bad to do battle with something that you call evil? It would almost be a virtue at that point in time, it seems. Right? I mean, maybe that's a weird argument, but like you claim it wouldn't be a bad thing, but then you should be full-throatedly supporting it. And I think a lot of people are very worried. Do I think people should get fired for words? No, but we saw an entire campaign for almost a decade of the left weaponizing email chains, having multiple SOC email accounts, mass reporting people that they didn't like just because they wore a MAGA hat or they went to a Trump rally or they espoused certain words that these people didn't like. They wanted them to lose their jobs. They would like them to eventually, and some cases, lives were taken, chat, because of ideologies, because somebody wanted to rally or believe or wear a hat or a shirt or hang a flag in there. I mean, how many Trump signs were tampered with, destroyed, snatched? I mean, Trump supporters had to electrify or barbed wire their campaign signs because certain people were just losing their minds, breaking the law by going onto people's private property to steal or destroy their freedom of expression and their property. And it's like, now, am I a fan of the fact that there are some people that are worried that if they say their thoughts about what happened to Charlie Kirk, and it might not agree with the decorum or the compunction of being what I would consider to be a moral person by not celebrating the assassination of a man, that, in my opinion, why? I mean, there are many, many other people that I could see would probably be there. There might be a justification due to their acts of objective evil that might have deserved something like that. But Charlie Kirk was not one of them. Even if I didn't agree with probably a lot of what he was saying. Maybe in the end I started agreeing a lot more. But to drill down on how these people really feel is important, guys. Understand that they say the quiet parts out loud sometimes. But the fact that there are some people now, I think the count is over 700 people have been fired from expressing stuff online that probably just should have stayed in their head. I mean, heck, there are things that I've said online that probably should have just stayed in my head. Matter of fact, what I might be going through right now might have been because if I probably would have just kept things in my head and not expressed it online. Fair enough, right? And let's be objective. But I'm not in support of people being canceled for saying how they feel about something. Unless they're breaking the law, unless they're actively breaking the law. And I've said, well, I can't even talk about that. But unless they're actively breaking the law, then they're not breaking the law and it should be permissible. Now, is it advisable? Is it appreciable? No, I don't think so. Do I agree with a lot of what they're saying? No, but do they have the right to say it? They do. But I mean, I've also heard a lot of people criticize people like, well, I don't agree with what they're saying, but I'd be willing to die for the right to say it. The other side would be willing to let you die so they can continue to say what they want to say. Meanwhile, trying to prevent you from saying what you want to say and getting you canceled. So it almost gets to the point where how foolish are we to think that we're willing to fight for somebody's rights to say repugnant things when they want to fight for your right to not be able to say those things. I'm going on. I'm being real super long-winded here. I apologize. I might not even. I'm just rattling right now at this point in time. Right. Let's see. I want the bowl full. Okay, so sounds like some of these people that troll this channel, they want to ask questions but refuse to answer a single question when we ask them. Dove says, I'm looking up what Charlie said about empathy because I know he said something about preferring sympathy. Yeah, I think he didn't say. Yeah, you could look up the quote of it, but I think it was being misquoted if I'm not mistaken. I think. Right. All right, let's see. I think there was a misquoting going on if I'm not mistaken. Let's go with that. Go.
Why is it that you think he was a Nazi?
Sure half of the fucking chat right here is fucking annoying.
Yeah, if you think he was a Nazi, why is it that you're sad he was unalived?
Say that? Stop putting words in my
Okay,
mouth,
so then what was your ideological issues
this
with
is
Kirk?
what you're assuming.
Then what was
Like,
what were your ideological issues with Kirk? Then what were they?
I didn't agree with him when he said, "Oh, I would go into a flight, and if I seen that it was a black pilot,
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah,
would."
I agree, MC.
Is that evil?
That's racist to me.
Is that evil?
That's racist.
Is it evil?
It's racist.
So I guess the quote is, I can't stand empathy. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that it does a lot of damage, but it is very effective when it comes to politics. Charlie Kirk. Okay. I think he said something about, I don't have empathy for something. I forget exactly what it was that he said he didn't have empathy for. I think it had to do with like people doing horrible things. If I'm not mistaken. Gosh, I wish I could be a little bit more clear with that statement. But I didn't really listen to a lot of Charlie Kirk stuff, honestly. Vintage said Kirk was banned from entering Australia, so he got a one-liner in the Australian federal parliament. I don't know what that means. Facts GS. That is unfortunate, Vintage. We are used to you yapping. He refused to obey the restrictions the government put on him. Roger. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of like if the government demanded that you reject or renounce any affiliation with Jesus Christ or the religion of Christianity, I would refuse it too. I think anyone should. I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm using that as an example. Some things are worth resisting or not refraining from.
Is it evil? Is racism evil?
Racist.
Is
Yeah,
that
like,
evil?
racist? What is his problem?
Answer the question. Is racism evil?
Yeah.
Then why
of
would
course
you
it's evil.
care? Why would you care if this racist got unalive? Then I don't get it.
I'm not mourning him in the way
Exactly.
that you are.
Yeah, you're not mourning him at all.
Yeah, see, now he's drilling down. Like, she can come on and act all peaceful and calm when she's getting absolutely zero pushback. Zero pushback. Right? She's getting zero pushback from a very good morning, King Bluto, from a very, very kind host. And she's saying all the right things, and she's sounding compassionate. She's sounding like she has empathy. Good point, right? When in fact she has no empathy, guys. She has no empathy. She thinks it's a good thing that Charlie Kirk was dealt with the way he was dealt with. And there's a lot of people out there that feel that way, guys.
Doesn't mean that I care or don't care.
Well, why do you care? Why do you care if a Nazi and a racist got killed? Why would you care?
You guys are weird. Man.
Answer the question, lady.
Like the fucking epitome of weird.
Oh, you're weird. Great argument. So answer the
Yes,
question.
we were having a very good conversation.
Yeah, where
before
nobody
you
was putting your feet to the fire.
this whole fucking
where nobody was
Feet
putting your feet to the
you think
fire.
that You're doing that. You think
Yes,
that you're doing
yes, I do. Yes, I
You're a
do.
fucking idiot.
Oh, well,
because
you got me.
Trump said that he deserved to be unalive.
Got me.
Guys, do me a favor. Don't forget to hit the like button, like, share, and subscribe. Yap some more. Hey, Pendelverse, I hope you're doing well. Hanging in there, brother, in Canada. Even if you're sharing this with like friends that are already watching it, it does help out the show. Every share, hyping. I don't know what hyping is. Can someone explain what hyping is? Somebody, I forget who it was. I think that said basically, "Hey, I hyped your." I think it was MC Dilligaff. Did we ever discover what hyping a show is or what it does? I don't know.
Nor
Got me.
Did I say that he's anything that you're quoting me to fucking say?
Yeah, but you say that he's a
So, yeah,
racist.
that-
You say he's a
I don't think that-
racist and he's
Yeah,
evil.
I think that he had racist tropes,
Uh
and
huh.
that he was perpetuating a fucking like a white agenda.
Ah, there we go, and it's a YT agenda. So ultimately, the same rhetoric.
So little by little, you start to drill down when these people of color, how they really feel about the YT people, right? You start to realize that these out of control nevrons are running around, running amok. If you just talk to these people long enough, you'll start to realize they hate you. They want to replace you. They want you gone. They want you absolutely deleted and removed from the gene pool. They want you gone. They only go along to get along because they don't have the ability to replace you, and they don't have the ability to continue to maintain the infrastructure. So they need you. They need you in order to freaking survive and live a life of quality that they've grown accustomed to living a quality life. So if you really pay attention, like I said, sometimes when you listen long enough to what people are actually saying, you should believe them when they say what they're saying. They're telling you about themselves.
That you're using
pretty
was Charlie Kirk a threat to our freedom?
I don't know. Ask the MAGA who unalived him.
I'm
There it is.
asking you.
We've heard that from Sage, called the MAGA. It's like a pejorative now. It's like you can't say the word Jew, otherwise it's considered a pejorative. Like, so wait, how can it be a pejorative and protected at the same time? That doesn't make sense. How can they call themselves Jew, and then I say the word Jew, and somehow it's a negative connotation or a pejorative? I mean, that doesn't. It doesn't. The math don't math. I mean, is it a pejorative? Sounds a little bit like a little bit of a guilty conscience there, if you ask me, right, chat? What did Owen Benjamin say? I found out later in life. That I was a quarter Jewish, and I kind of always knew, because all throughout my youth, I've always felt like I was up to something. That was a quote from Owen Benjamin, by the way, who is a quarter Jew.
Ask the MAGA.
I'm
who
asking
unalived
you.
him,
I'm asking
not
you. Was
me.
Charlie Kirk a threat to our freedom?
I could give two
Gotcha.
shits.
Answer the
Gotcha.
question.
Interesting.
Was Charlie Kirk a threat to our freedom?
I don't find
Was
him a
Charlie
threat.
Kirk? Was
I
Charlie Kirk a
didn't think that a lot of liberals found him a threat, but I do think that a MAGA, a Christian,
No, that never happened.
Oh,
You're
that's
just
cool.
making all that up.
That's really cool. You get so many hypes per week and stuff, and you can hype. I appreciate that, MC.
yes, a
By the way, I'm telling you, man, if you want somebody to be a mod in your channel that can hype your merchandise, MC Dilligaff, 100% MC Dilligaff, man. Just brilliant, absolutely brilliant marketing mind. Legit. If I get successful and I start to be able to generate some reliable income, if you'll want to be employed or receive a paycheck from me, I would be. I mean, listen, I guess the formality of filling out an application would be, you want the job? Yeah, right. Say yes right here and put it on a Post-it note. There's your application. The job's yours. If I have the wherewithal and the means to be able to offer you what I think you'd be worth, I will hire you, hands down. I think you're a damn marketing genius. My little dog wants to go out, so after this game, I'm going to have to step away. After this is over, guys, I am going to end the stream because I do have to send a few things via email, and then I got to get ready for lunch. But I will talk to you guys a little bit more later, and I will update as I'm able to. and probably won't be able to out till after the 22nd. Thank you for your patience and your support. But let's listen to Andrew be a big jerk face. Smoky Man bad. Smoky Man mean. Right? Smoky Man is mean. We'll listen to Andrew do the exact work that every decent red-blooded American man should be doing, holding these women's feet to the fire. And I think actually that's his wife. Oh, right there. Rachel Wilson, top right-hand corner, right near the TikTok invasion. That's his wife right next to him. His wife's going to get on and start absolutely dog walking this libtard lady.
Show me that this guy was a MAGA religious Christian, you lying sack of dog vomit. Show me.
Born a fucking Republican.
You don't get born. You get born as a Republican?
In his hand before he could fuck.
It is really funny when you give these people just enough time to continue to talk. They just reveal who and what they truly are. If you just give them enough time to talk, that you'll just hear all the hate in their heart.
Oh, I didn't know you could get born a Republican. You're born Republican? You're born Republican?
That's not me.
You're born Republican?
I mean, his family put a gun in his hand before he could fucking
That
walk.
means you're a Republican?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
You don't
go
know?
look at the fucking statistics and
Go look at the
Democrats
statistics for what?
growing Democrats, like they're not.
How
out
could you
here
ever
shooting
demonstrate
at
someone's
people.
born Republican?
Yeah, no kidding. He was born Republican.
Well, I mean, his whole family, even his grandma, said they're all MAGA.
So if it's
Your
the
name's
case that
Russ,
your
right?
family's a Republican, that means you must be?
I'm just saying.
Do you have
his
Republican family
grandma
members?
was on-
Do you have
his
Republican
grandma
family
was
members?
quoted saying that their whole family is MAGA.
Yeah, do you have Republican family
He was
members?
grown up that way.
Do you
He has a
have
shirt.
Republican family members?
Yeah.
So how can you have been born a Democrat and then Republican?
Well, not my parents. My parents were both.
If your
Democrats,
parents were
but
both Republican, were you
have-
born a Republican?
Do you even fucking listen? I said
I'm
both of
trying.
My parents were Democrats.
I'm trying.
No, you're not.
So you were
You're
born a
not.
Democrat?
You're listening to respond.
So you
You're
were
a fucking
born
troll.
a
You're
Democrat?
an absolute troll.
You were born a
Not
so you
any
were
other
born you were
one.
born a
I'm
Democrat?
dropped by that.
So you were born a Democrat?
Yes, I was.
You
And I
were?
didn't-
You were born a Democrat.
You guys know Elon Musk?
I was born a
She's
Democrat.
a really good example
just
of why
saying, both of my
why
parents-
women shouldn't be involved in the political process.
Hey,
Both of my parents were very liberal, left-leaning, and I fall to suit.
Yeah,
And
you'll get older and
I
change.
agree with their ideology.
You'll grow out of it.
You were born a Democrat.
Said you'll
And I
grow
didn't-
out of it.
I did not alive Charlie Kirk. Newsflash.
Yeah, we didn't say you did. I just don't understand. You say
Somebody who was raised a Republican, you just don't want to fucking hear it.
why do you even have an
Somebody who
opinion
was
on
raised a Republican
why do you even have an
with a
opinion
fucking
on
gun
Charlie
in his
Kirk?
hand,
Why do you even have an
who was-
opinion on him if you
who
didn't
was
listen to him?
born- Who literally had a gun in his hand before he could fucking walk.
Yeah, prove that too.
Because he's racist.
Prove
what?
prove that he had a
What
gun
would
in his
even
hand
be
before he
wrong
could
with
walk.
that?
You're just making that up too.
What would
That's
even be wrong with that?
What?
Why would
Yeah.
that be
You haven't
wrong?
seen the fucking pictures?
Yeah, show me the picture
would
of him
be
having
wrong
a
with
hang on. Show me the picture of him having a gun in his hand before he could walk, lunatic. Show
Yeah,
me.
I'm pretty sure he was like
It wa-
fucking like 8 years old.
Oh, so he could walk? So he could walk?
Yeah, I think
Is he
got
just making
slow.
shit up?
I'm pretty
Well,
sure
what's the-
y'all
what's the
are
reason you didn't
slow,
like it?
So it's proving you're slow right now. So yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
everyone's
well,
slow.
Tell us why you think Charlie Kirk was such a bad guy. What did he say or advocate for that was
Yes.
so bad?
I just told you I don't fucking agree with his ideology. The fact
Which-
that
I thought you didn't
he-
listen to him.
Oh my God,
You didn't
I
listen
just
to him.
fucking said to her and him, sorry, Andrew, him.
I thought she
that
didn't listen to
he
him.
Said that he that if he walked into an
he was
airplane,
talking about DEI,
And-
you stupid
and
brat.
if he walked
He was talking about DEI.
Do you feel the same way
He
about
was
Alec
saying,
Baldwin?
And
He's like,
I
"Yeah,
want
he's
people to be
Yeah,
hired
homophobe."
based on merit. He was
And
making
if the-
this
Mr. Monday, Mr. Monday, da 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 da. How good you feel, Mr. Monday. I know you've been working real hard. We got a lunch meeting here today, real soon. So should be interesting, guys. Should be really, really interesting. Got a lot of things in the fire, guys. A lot of irons in the fire, chat. And I appreciate everyone working so damn hard. I just thank God for it. I really do. Appreciate you guys.
is what
So-
you people do. You
but-
take everything out of
Listen to
context. Why don't you be
Tupac
quiet
was
for
a
a second and
sexual
let me talk?
I didn't.
Why don't
I
you
didn't
shut your
really-
mouth?
I didn't
Why
really
don't you
race
shut
into
up?
it. Charlie
By the way, the lady that's telling her to shut up and that this is why women shouldn't have any part in politics, that's Rachel. That's Rachel Wilson right there. That's his wife. And he's loving it. He's there for it.
Charlie Kirk brought race into it.
Why don't you shut up and
Charlie
let me
Kirk
talk?
brought
Because
race
what
into
you're
it. I
doing
didn't.
is you're being dishonest
Charlie
and you're
Kirk
lying.
brought race
Shut up.
into it. I
Shut
didn't.
your mouth.
Shut your mouth. If you walked into a plane and that pilot was black.
Because
fucking
of
quote,
DEI, you stupid
I
brat.
quote,
Stop lying. This is
said,
what you
I
people
would
do.
feel a
You do
little
realize-
unsafe.
Understand that a soft war has been declared on, I would say, decency. I really do. Like the decency in America. Soft war has been declared on decency, my friends. Mm-hmm. And it's time that we don't keep looking the other way and keeping our head down and trying to keep our opinions to ourselves. It's time that we go onto the battlefield verbally, like Andrew and his wife are doing right now. And we got to take back sensibility, logic, reason, and evidence from these lunatics on the left. These people are lunatics on the left.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth, you stupid.
You hear the way Andrew's laughing. He could not be more proud of his wife right now than, I mean, he's just on cloud 9 with how proud he is of his wife right now.
Stupid
I'm
bitch.
not gonna
Listen to me. He was talking about DEI. He wanted to know that whoever is there because of merit and not because
Good
they're
point,
a
Dove.
DEI hire. You're a DEI hire. I bet you're a DEI hire. Where do you work? What kind of industry do you work in?
Yourmom.com.
Oh, got her.
That's right. That's what I thought. So tell us all about where you work and what industry you're in, and that you're not an industry
Why don't I
DEI
just
hire.
send you my fucking IP address, you fucking cuck?
You don't even know what the hell you're talking about. You're the best possible example of why women shouldn't even be talking about politics. You're completely uninformed. You have no idea what you're talking about. Where's your husband, by the way? Does your husband know you're on here?
You must hate her.
I don't have a husband. This is my shocked face. It's kind of like that pizza girl. You know, it's like Alicia. She got a bunch of kids from a bunch of daddy mamas or baby daddy problems or whatever. I don't even know how it is. I don't know, man. I got all these freaking loudmouth boss babes running around going, you know, fist in the air feminism. Yeah, running their little holsters about things.
I don't have a husband.
It's my shock face.
I have a boyfriend of 20
Take a
plus
Vera.
years. I don't
Homophobic?
have to get married to be a fucking person.
Yeah, you don't have to. He won't marry you because we can see what you're
John
like.
Lennon.
I don't
Racist
marry either.
conservative.
I don't need to have a husband to be fucking important and to be able to
Okay,
vote.
so other than Charlie Kirk very
I'm her
poignantly
husband.
telling
I just
you
hung
how,
myself.
hey, listen,
That sounded like Waffle Salter for some reason. So he said, I'm her husband. And he said, hung himself.
other than Charlie Kirk saying, hey, I'd like to know that the pilot flying my plane is there because of merit and not because of some kind of.
Yeah, that's what I want. I don't care what color their skin is. I want the best pilot ever when I or my family members get on that plane. I want the most competent pilot possible available to fly my plane. I don't care what color their skin is.
Government DEI program. I'd like to know he's competent enough to fly the plane and that he's
How dare you, Moon? How dare you? Rats? I love his laugh. His laugh is contagious.
not just a diversity hire. Other than that, totally sensible take.
That's
What
not
else
what
has
he
Charlie
said.
Kirk
That is a
said?
sensible take.
That is what he said.
That is what he said.
What else
That's
did he
not what he
say?
fucking
Never-
said.
What else did he say that you disagree with?
That's not what he said, but
What else
okay.
did he
It's
say that
Daisy
you
Republic.
disagree with? That?
When he said that public
Actually,
execution
word for
should
word
be in
said.
front of
My
fucking
name is Erica
children.
Kirk.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
that
That's my
was
husband.
disgusting.
I agree, Dove.
What's
I
that?
first
If
want
you
to
had
thank
kids
the
and they
local,
grew up to have the
state,
same
and
views as
federal
Charlie
law
Kirk, would you
enforcement who
feel the
worked
same way?
tirelessly to capture.
There's just a bunch of dumb people talking over each other. Is there anybody moderating this or what? So please tell us
Yeah,
what
finally
he
some
tell us what
self-reflection.
Charlie said. Tell us what
Finally,
Charlie
some
Kirk ever said.
self-reflection coming from her. That's
Tell us what
hilarious.
Charlie Kirk ever said that made it
Like I
worth
said,
killing him. What did he say?
Yeah, show us on the dolly where Charlie Kirk's words hurt you. That's it right there. Show us on the dolly where Charlie Kirk's words hurt you.
That made it worth killing him?
Oh my god! If you fucking shut the fuck up for 5
Just
minutes,
answer it.
Triggered.
ass bitch.
You're
So,
the
like,
bitch, you
being,
fucking
full on
bitch.
rude. Just
Yeah,
answer the
you
question.
crusty ass fucking bitch. Again, like I said,
Oh,
second
why
one.
don't you show us your face, you crusty ass fucking bitch? You
Yeah,
got a
okay.
boyfriend for 20 years that won't marry your ass?
Fucking troll me out.
I think we know
I'm
why he won't put a ring
think
on
this
it.
was a great,
my knees on right
great
foot.
conversation, modern, before these fucking trolls came.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You
Yeah, so just like a typical liberal, it comes in, tries to act like they're being agreeable, doesn't really say what they mean, says what's politically expedient at the time. We were having a perfectly fine conversation until these trolls came in. Oh, you mean when nobody was pushing back against your bullshit narrative, lady?
just got exposed for being a dumb, ignorant bitch. And you shouldn't even be talking. You shouldn't even be talking. Get off the panel.
No,
Get
she
off
should
the
be
panel.
listening.
This is
Yeah, you should be
The guy said, yeah, no, she should be listening. I think that was Jake Rattlesnake.
there's a
listening
reason
to your
that this
betters.
kind of thing happens. Have a good one.
Yeah, bye, bitch. See you later. That's what I thought. The minute you put them to the question,
Yes,
they've
thank you.
got nothing.
Dude, I'm going to tell you right now, Andrew Wilson's wife kind of low-key reminds me of like Andrew Wilson's wife kind of low-key reminds me of the rhetoric I see from Rats to the Moon. Rats to the Moon is a spirited woman. There is no doubt about that. That's just hilarious. But all right, so after this game, I'm gonna head out, guys. I appreciate you. Got a couple loose ends that I need to tie up real quick. And whoa, what is that? That looks cool. A little bit of fire, a little bit of brimstone, flying trample haste. All right, let's swing, bada bada bada, a swing bada. All right, let's get some music going. It is going. Why isn't it going? Wait, what? Did I break it? Oh, there we go. Maybe. Ah, there we go. Okay. All right. Anyway. All right. This game is over. Enjoy your lunch. I will give you guys updates. There may or may not be a mukbang session. Probably not, because it's going to be more of a conference of sorts. We're going to be talking about some pretty important stuff here in a minute. Yes, I get good news on my side. I may be call me here as soon as I end this stream, if you're okay with that, Mr. Monday. Go ahead and call me on Messenger, and we'll chat here real quick. All right, and thanks everyone. I appreciate you. You guys rock. You guys are awesome. Understand that we are in a spiritual war. That speak a proverb against it, right? Send me, Lord. Here I am. Send me, Lord. Who will go? Here I am. Send me, Lord. Here I am. Send me, Lord. I'll see you guys on the next one.